Has it happened?
Yeah,
me too. And it was like any other appeal where the referee went and looked at it and looked at it and looked at it, and then you had the announcers going back and forth. Some felt that it was definitely a red card. There were some who felt it was not a red card, which is what confuses me. That if you're smart enough to be in color commentating a game like this, wouldn't you know that it is absolutely not intentional? And that doesn't play a role. Yet they were saying this clearly wasn't intentional. It should not be a red card. I don't know. I'm hearing from other people that doesn't even matter. So what is it? I guess it's confusing when you really don't know the rules of the sport.
Yeah. Look,
at least that's how I feel.
One of the things when it was happening live that one of the broadcasters kept saying was, when you slow it down in super slow motion, everything might look intentional or looks deliberate, and you can see it coming. So as you're watching it, you're processing it. You're like, oh, he's going to slam on his ankle. He's going to slam on his Achilles. You better be careful. But one of the guys was saying, if you're going to card this, you should play it back regular speed, game speed, and then try to make the decision.
Apparently, they don't do that when they look at reviews. Everything is only in slow motion. At least that's the way they were talking. Why wouldn't you give them both views, the referee? I don't understand that either. But it is what it is. He is playing. That's probably good for the United States. How about England with a very close one? 3-2 win, and they went down to 10 players, and they pull out the victory. This U.S. or this FIFA World Cup mania is pretty wild, and it's interesting. These people have just come for the month. These people from around the world have just come and they're hanging here. So when in between games, they're traveling through the region or driving, it's showing up at baseball games. It's pretty wild.
It is wild. We talked about the Scots, right? They're going to baseball games and things like that. One other thing I wanted to mention in watching yesterday's games, I caught parts of both games. First of all, to the broadcast, I don't know who the broadcaster was. He did a very nice job, but the way he was talking, how did he say it? Norway are playing their best ball on the biggest stage, something like that.
Yeah.
But it was the whole is and are thing.
Plural.
Instead of Norway is, Norway are playing.
That's how the rules fall in European English.
And then the England-Mexico game was a great game.
You would never say Mexico are, but they do.
Yes. They scored 2 goals in like 90 seconds or basically 100 seconds. And I kind of went, oh, that's game. They're not going to recover from that. And Mexico did rally. It made it 2-1, and then it was 3-1, then 3-2. So a couple of very interesting, entertaining games. Brazil was, I think, the 4th favorite to win. Obviously, they're knocked out now. Obviously, as we get lower in, a lot of the favorites, they'll be pitted against each other, so this will be knocked out.
If the U.S. can win this game, this will be an enormous win to get past Belgium. And by no means.
But again, already we're talking. At least I'm looking at this as if they get a huge win, it'll be tainted.
That's certainly possible, I guess. Yeah. Belgium, by the way, no slouch. Don't think that this is a pushover team, but the United States has some real momentum going on here. So, and it's never been done for them. Hasn't been done before, and you're playing on home turf. That always can make can make some sort of a difference. So it'll be something. Last night, fireworks at. Go ahead.
One more on the betting. Right now, what I'm looking at on ESPN, Team USA is plus 135, so they are a slight underdog in this contest.
In the fireworks over the weekend, everybody seemed to have great displays. I've heard that Utica's was phenomenal. Went off without a hitch. However, I have seen some posts. Mello Testa did a post where as people were leaving the fireworks celebration on Saturday night, they were walking through, exiting on feet through North Utica and in that neighborhood, and said they were horribly disrespectful, tearing. He claims we should get Mello to see if he can talk about it. He says they were literally pulling decorations 4th of July decorations off the side of his house.
You're kidding.
No, you got to look up his post. So, animals, he called them, and that was something. And then, of course, you had America 250 in Washington, and the president was about an hour late coming out, which is, I believe, typical when it comes to his rallies. But while that was very pro-America, his speech was also very partisan and very Trump-like, which is what I think you would probably expect. There was another thing that grabbed headlines, was a, quote, unexpected white supremacy parade that marched through Washington. You know, these white supremacists, they wear their little, in this case, it wasn't like a KKK. They're wearing a hat with an emblem that is a white supremacy emblem, but they all cover their faces. Why do they have to cover their faces? You don't want people to see that you're a white supremacist? I would imagine. So you know it's wrong, or you just know it's right, but you know that people are against it. It might cost you your job. Nonetheless, that was part of our history, and certainly was part of the 250th celebration over the weekend in D.C.
Yeah, their faces are all covered. Huh?
Yeah. And then last night, the fireworks, we watched the fireworks from New Hartford, which were pretty impressive. And if you were anywhere in the New Hartford area, you could see them. They were pretty high, and it was quite a great display put on by the town of New Hartford. And that park over there, the town of New Hartford Park, has really been developed over the years. There's a lot going on there and a lot for people and kids to do. And, of course, that's where the fireworks were last night. Any other biggies over the weekend? Anything big? We had family over on Saturday night and did our own little thing in the backyard.
Well, so two things. One, I saw some criticism, and it is, I think, worthy of criticism. The city of Buffalo, the mayor there, canceled their July 4th fireworks because he said he couldn't find an appropriate location, but he didn't cancel it till like Tuesday or Wednesday, and said part of the concern was having debris over the lake, but then they're having a big fireworks extravaganza on August 2nd. So I'm baffled as to what's going on there.
Yeah.
And I don't know if this is a political thing, an environmental thing. I'm not exactly sure. And then the other thing is over the weekend, and they are investigating. The United County Sheriff's Office says that an inmate was found unresponsive in his cell, was later taken to Wynn Hospital where he was pronounced dead. No real details being released as they are investigating, but they say essentially due to the nature of how the inmate was found, they have not released his name. The Onondaga County Medical Examiner's Office was brought in, and they are as a part of the investigation as well.
Okay, and then I do want to say that even sitting out last night, we did not have a real mosquito problem. And I don't know if it's just a neighborhood situation. Maybe it's different where you are. Davey is now showing us his legs. I don't know if you... can you show the legs again, Davey? Let me see what we're looking at here. Oh, yeah. He's got... Is it bites? You have bites all over yourself there?
Yes, because I picked at him and scratched the heck out of him.
Oh, good. That sounds nice.
Well, I put a little bit of home remedy rubbing alcohol on them to ease the itching, and then they just itch, and I just scratch away at them.
You think rubbing alcohol is the way to go?
Well, my grandfather's the one that told me to use rubbing alcohol on, so I continue to use them.
Sometimes they'll say maybe witch hazel. Or there's, believe it or not, that Mountain Ice the eczema version of Mountain Ice, will work on a bug bite. There's also this thing where you can, if you get a mosquito bite, it actually is a device that goes over top of the bite, and it sucks out all of the venom.
Ooh.
Yeah.
This is
that's a bit of an overstatement, right?
It is venom. That's really what it is. It's what causes it to swell up. So you're sucking that out. Now, obviously, if it was a bee sting, there is some, venom there. Certainly not the venom that, unless you're allergic, that would kill you, or unless the mosquito's carrying West Nile, then you're probably screwed anyway. But it does work, and it gets rid of the bump that you would get when you have a mosquito bite.
Well, these are not from this past weekend. These were from last Sunday when I sat out on my porch and watched the fireworks at the Floyd Field Days.
So they're still hanging in there.
Yes.
We did not have a mosquito problem, though.
Well, are you saying you do now?
No. And sometimes it gets bad when it's humid.
You're starting to itch now.
Yeah, no, you're making me itch. I'm looking at your legs.
Making me itch.
But I just find that you can go out and when it's hot and humid, and you're just getting pounded with mosquitoes.
Yeah,
we did not seem to have that. Maybe there was so much smoke in the air that was scaring the mosquitoes away.
Could be that too.
That's another issue. They're saying air quality in D.C. was very diminished after the amazing, probably according to the president, the largest fireworks display ever. They just went on and on and on. And even in Utica, they went on and on and on. That was a big display in Utica.
It was. I actually was driving through downtown as they began, and I assume as it was ending, but it did go for quite some time. I mean, 45 minutes an hour at least, and maybe even well beyond that from what I saw. But I had driven through. To be honest, Government introduced the Trump accounts on July 4th, enabling contributions and providing an updated app for parents to fund accounts and access financial educational tools. At least 6 people are dead as many more are injured from a violent 4th of July weekend. There was a shooting at a Brooklyn barbecue that wounded 8, including 4 children. In Florida, a 19-year-old was killed and 6 wounded after gunfire erupted in Pensacola. 2 shootings in Gary, Indiana left a 10-year-old boy dead. There were also shootings in California, St. Louis, Arizona, and Ohio. Authorities say a white nationalist march on July 4th in Washington, D.C. was peaceful. Hundreds of masked members of the Patriot Front carried American and Confederate flags as they set out from Union Station on Saturday morning. The group also handed out flyers criticizing what it called gender hysteria, the murder of the unborn, the corruption of youth, and assaults against the institution of marriage.
Wouldn't it be great if we aborted all of them before they were actually developed and became humans? I think we'd all be better off.
The United States will take on Belgium today in the World Cup round of 16. It's in Seattle. The U.S. is trying to make its first quarterfinals appearance at the World Cup since 2002. The game will air on Fox. It is set to begin at 8 p.m. And Minions and Monsters is underperforming at the box office. The latest installment of the Despicable Me franchise earned a franchise low $36 million between Friday and Sunday. Its 5-day total stands at $61 million. Minions and Monsters still took the top spot at the box office, though, but it had been expected to make around $80 million in the first 5 days. WIBX, it's a holiday weekend, though, right? People were at camps. They were doing stuff.
Yeah. Usually, though, on a holiday weekend, especially when it's hot, I have to say some people use places like movie theaters and the casino and the mall as a place where you can get away from the heat if you don't have great air conditioning. Yeah, and I have some thoughts on the Bear. We're almost to the end of the Bear, and it's a different season. It's a unique season, and I want to get into it after the break.
Right now, cloudy and 68. Here's your Weather Center forecast.
There will be some clouds from this morning into the afternoon and also the potential for a few isolated showers today as the high hits 78. More rain may fall this evening, then cloudy overnight with a low dropping down to 60. A partly to mostly cloudy Tuesday with an occasional shower and a high of 78. Then sunny and warmer by Wednesday with a high of 87. I'm Jeff Marr at the Weather Channel on WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Again, cloudy and 68 at 6:45.
I wonder if Mike and Skyler has seen the Bear. Wants to pipe in on that. We'll chat with somebody about it, but I do want to talk about it. And we're through, I think there are 8 episodes, and we're through 7. Or maybe there's 9, and we're through 8. So we have one final episode to watch, and we'll get to it. But I do want to talk about what I've seen up to this point. World Cup fever continuing across the country with the U.S. playing Belgium tonight. And, of course, we've talked about some of the controversies. Here to give us the latest update is Tanya J. Powers from Fox News Radio. Happy 4th, Tanya, and good morning.
Hey, thank you.
So it is World Cup fever, no doubt.
To say the very least, you are correct. And now we've even got the world of politics involved, and so we've got even more people paying attention to it than they normally would have. Even people who are like, I don't care anything about sports or the World Cup, I don't know anything about this. Now there's all kinds of attention being paid to
Well, this is over the red card and the suspension of the rest of the last game and one game, which would be tonight. And the word is the president has stepped in, and people around the world are calling foul.
That is a very good way of putting it. Our own Jared Halpern did confirm last night that the White House confirmed that they, had at the very least said something about it. Let me put it that way. The basically short answer is that Trump asked FIFA to review the suspension, and then FIFA came up and said, "Oh, okay, you know what? We're going to lift the suspension." A red card is supposed to, by regulation, automatically give you a one match suspension. For whoever gets it. And it just happened to be that the guy who got it is the leading scorer for the U.S., Flo Balogun. So that is the, kind of the backdrop to this. They have a game tonight. USA and Belgium are playing at Seattle Stadium at 8 o'clock Eastern. The winner of that will face the winner of the Portugal and Spain game that's at 3 o'clock Eastern today. The U.S., by the way, is also the only host country left in the tournament. Canada and Mexico have both been put out as of this weekend. But you've got a lot of people who are weighing in on this who feel very strongly one way or the other. A lot of U.S. fans are like, well, he shouldn't have gotten the red card in the first place. This was an accident. Nonetheless, they did give him the red card, and then they did, say, okay, well, we're going to suspend the suspension. They are giving Belgium a chance to appeal as well. So Belgium and the U.S. both have until 8 o'clock this morning Eastern time to put in their, whatever they want to, their statements on this or whatever. Belgium has until then to get their appeal together, which is interesting.
I don't completely understand this sport exactly. So I don't know the rules. It's not like you can go and talk about the NFL and it's like, well, here's the reason, or some baseball play and explain here's the reason and look at the history. It seems though, Tanya, is there has not been an overturning of a red card, according to reports I read yesterday, since 1962. That's a long time.
Yeah. That is according to FIFA officials, a team cannot appeal against a red card or the subsequent suspension. That is the rule. This is the way that this has been, done, because these are the regulations of the game. Apparently, I'm like you. I keep saying this, that I have learned everything I know about soccer. I learned from Ted Lasso. So it is. I think this is new for a lot of us as far as getting really into the nitty gritty of the game.
Right.
So, but it's one thing is for absolute certain: the amount of people who are interested in this sport and the World Cup in general is far larger than I think some people realize.
It is, and if you think we're celebrating and hooting it up with the U.S. Men as deep as they've gone, the rest of the world, it is everything. It's like Super Bowl every single day leading up to this. So pretty wild. The person I spoke with yesterday said, it has not happened since 1962. The rules clearly state that a red card is automatic if you have to be able to control your own body. And if you end up injuring someone because you lose control of your body, intent does not play any role. And that clearly was a red card, and he should be not playing in tonight's game. However, he said, I'm so glad he is playing. So,
and That seems to be the overarching sentiment that I have seen. And if you look at there are some of the sports websites. I know Fox Sports is obviously all over this, but there are some photos like sports in the moment photos where they isolate the second before it happens. And I'm just going to tell you, my ankle hurts looking at it.
It's
you can tell what is about to happen to that other guy, and regardless of whether it was intentional or not, it is. I'm in pain just looking at that picture.
I was surprised he didn't break an ankle or at least cause an injury that would prevent him from, play. Unfortunately, the loss prevented him from playing any further. So, all right, interesting, Tanya. We appreciate the update. Go USA. Sure. Thanks.
Thanks.
Tanya J. Powers from Fox News Radio. For a number of reasons, and Sarah's Flooring Outlet should be on your list and the top of your list when it comes to flooring. Reason number one, they have the area's largest inventory. And Sarah's has all of that in stock. Plenty for you to choose from. Reason number two, and Sarah's offers the best quality floor covering. Top name brands like Shaw and Mohawk, Core-Tech, Mannington, Target, and that's just a few of the brand names. Reason number three, and Sarah's will meet or beat any locally advertised price. 4, service. With their decades of experience, and Sarah's will get you unbeatable service at Sarah's Flooring Outlet. And remember, 6 months interest-free financing on qualified buyers. In Sarah's Flooring Outlet, unrivaled service and experience, all at an affordable price. Now you can see why more people buy from the biggest store, Route 49 Plaza, River Road, Marcy, and in sarahsflooringoutlet.com.
You see his arm?
Oh, Lord. You can't cover that up. Oh, my God. Disgusting.
So that's one way to lose weight. Peel your skin right off.
All right, hold tight. Coming right back at WIBX.
You know, around here, a good vehicle isn't just transportation, it's family time, weekend adventures, and getting where life takes you. Maybe you're loading up the kids for a day at the Utica Zoo, or you're heading north to Enchanted Forest Water Safari for the weekend. Or maybe you're pointing the hood south toward Cooperstown and the National Baseball Hall of Fame. Wherever the road leads, you want to know your vehicle is ready for the trip. And right now at Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, purchase any 4 Bridgestone tires and receive a $150 rebate. It's a great time to upgrade your ride before your next adventure, because when you're headed somewhere important, peace of mind rides along too. Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, driving our community since 1980. Trusted for quality, known for service, and helping get you there safely, mile after mile. Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, Yorkville, Utica, Rome, and Herkimer, or online at tallmanstire.com. We'll keep the wheels turning so you can keep making memories.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter. The 4th of July sale is on at upstate New York's largest specialty bedding retailer, Mattress Express. Save up to $1,350 on our huge selection of brands. And remember, we beat any locally advertised price on a brand we carry. Hurry.
Celebrating 100 years.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
I don't know. People are complaining that there's no audio. Now there is audio. And
Here, you want some feedback? I'll give you some feedback.
Yeah. I'm just going to leave it alone for right now. Okay, yeah, I've got audio. The problem is when I switch to another camera, I don't know how this happens. Like one day, everything is working, we leave. So either weird stuff goes on with this, or there's somebody coming in here and like, let's change the settings. The problem is there's no one left in the building, is there? I mean, who would be left to come in here? So it just seems like there are changes that happen just over the weekend.
I feel like
it makes no sense to me at all.
I need a Scooby-Doo line here. Everything would have been fine if it wasn't for those meddling kids. But there's no meddling kids in here. There's nobody else in the building. Well, just
no one left. Okay.
So the comments on YouTube, I just want to get to this real quick.
Can I just say one thing?
Yeah.
My friend Kid Chris was let go from his job after 14 years in Cincinnati. And just a model employee and one of the greatest talents in the country.
Wow.
And it just shows, and remember we said that the Clear Channel or iHeart or whatever had a sweeping another round of layoffs that left no one practically in the building.
Yeah.
It just it's unbelievable. So if you're working on a format that isn't really producing the money that they're looking for, and you're, no matter how good you are to the company, and I don't know anything about it, so I'm not speaking on his behalf. I just read something in the trades about him being let go.
Well, hopefully there's another opportunity for him somewhere.
All of us,
yeah. Especially
when you look around the building and you know there used to be a lot of people, and now there aren't a lot of people.
So I mean,
makes you a little nervous.
This is
the industry.
This is the problem.
KTV, television, UTR, not just here but around the country. Radio and television and newspaper, traditional forms of media are all feeling the effects of this.
Yeah, absolutely. This is the problem, though. I think with corporations, whether it be a company of any, whether it's a medium. You talked about newspaper, TV, radio. It could be an insurance company, it could be a call center, it could be anything. You're essentially a number on a list, they're always looking to increase the profit for the stakeholders. And I'm not saying necessarily that's a bad thing, but if you're an employee, it usually doesn't work out in your favor, right?
All right. I don't know if I try him to look your way so I don't have to look at him, but clearly he's raising his hand. I can't put you on camera because we'll lose the audio. And I don't know why, but that's where we are right now. What do you want to say about this? You're a podcaster.
No, I was going to say.
But you also worked in radio.
No, I was going to say
and
exactly.
You worked in Albany.
Correct.
Yeah.
I was going to say exactly what Jeff was saying because TKO owns UFC and WWE. Their profits have never been higher.
Yeah,
they have been slashing.
Is TKO the podcast or the streaming service?
It's the parent company for WWE and UFC. Right. They have been slashing and cutting employees for.
And you're saying they're
since the merger.
WIBX Utica Road, W295 Utica.
From the WB Payne Insurance Studios, your news talk leader since 1925. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now the latest from Fox News.
Team USA versus Belgium at the World Cup. I'm Chris Foster, Fox News, and there's controversy ahead of the match 13 hours from now in Seattle. Leading American scorer Flo Balogun has his one-game suspension for stepping on an opponent's ankle reversed after a phone call from President Trump. Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House.
A source confirms to Fox that President Trump called FIFA President Gianni Infantino asking him to review the red card suspension of American forward Flo Balogun. That red card against Bosnia and Herzegovina makes Balogun ineligible to play against Belgium, but FIFA announced the American star is eligible, suspending the one-game ban into a one-year probationary period. President Trump praised the decision on social media, writing, "Thank you, FIFA, for doing what was right and reversing a great injustice."
And the Athletic website reports that Belgians are being granted the right to appeal the reversal, and both teams have the next hour to submit their case as to why Balogun should or shouldn't be allowed to play. Charlie Kirk's widow and accused killer are scheduled to be in the same room today for the start of a 5-day hearing about evidence.
Ahead of today's preliminary hearing in Utah County for Tyler Robinson, Erica Kirk and media outlets argued for cameras to be allowed in the courtroom, and Judge Tony Graff is allowing video of the proceedings. Prosecutors have said they plan to introduce forensic and video evidence, witness statements, autopsy findings, and alleged messages Robinson wrote his romantic partner. Kirk was killed last September at Utah Valley University. Jessica Rosenthal, Fox News.
Police in New York City are looking to identify and catch a suspect in a shooting at a 4th of July cookout at an apartment building courtyard near the Coney Island Boardwalk in Brooklyn Saturday night.
At least 8 people, including 4 children, were shot. A 21-year-old is in critical condition. The youngest victims are 6, 7, 12, and 14 years old. They are expected to survive. Police are investigating whether the shooting was gang retaliation.
Fox's Marianne Rafferty. Mourners have flooded into Iran's capital, Tehran, for the funeral procession for the late Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. America's listening to Fox News.
For 250 years, Americans have believed in one powerful idea, that we were meant to live free to work hard, free to move, free to enjoy life without being held back. But if everyday aches and pains are slowing you down, might be time to declare your independence from pain, like I did. I love telling you every day about Relief Factor, the 100% drug-free, research-based formula designed to help your body fight inflammation, one of the root causes of pain. It's not a quick fix or a temporary mask. It works from the inside out, at the source. Relief Factor was created so that people could get back to living life on their terms, walking, working, exercising, enjoying the moments that truly matter. This year, as we celebrate 250 years of American independence, take a stand for your own freedom. To commemorate, we're offering a special patriotic price, just $17.76, so you can declare your independence from pain and take your control. Just $17.76 for a 3-week quick start. It's ready for you. Visit ReliefFactor.com or call 800-4-RELIEF.
One of the pilots at a 4th of July air show in Washington, D.C. was NASA Administrator Jarek Isaacman, flying one of his 1970s Northrop F-5F Tiger II vintage fighter jets. And the Wall Street Journal reports the FAA had denied permission, calling the jets too dangerous for densely populated areas. Isaacman calls that a misunderstanding, saying the rules did not apply to government planes, which his had been designated. In another interview, he spoke about getting back to and staying on the moon.
NASA Administrator Jared Isaacman said on CBS Face the Nation, the Artemis II mission has united the nation, but the goals of establishing breakthroughs in space go well beyond inspirational success.
All that we stand to learn from a scientific perspective, economic potential. I'll tell you, there will be a lunar economy someday. We'll be mining asteroids at some point. So it's not just scientific, there's economic.
Isaacman said NASA is sticking to its current schedule, which plans for Artemis III to launch next year to proceed with preparations for a permanent base on the moon. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
The State Department is issuing special commemorative passports. They're calling Patriot passports, starting today, 40,000 while supplies last.
Created to mark America's 250th anniversary, the commemorative passport features President Trump, along with patriotic artwork, including the Declaration of Independence and the Founding Fathers signing the historic document. Officials say it's the first U.S. passport to feature a sitting president. The design has also sparked criticism from some who question whether a current president belongs on an official government travel document. The special edition costs the same as a standard passport, but will only be available in person at the Washington Passport Agency.
Fox's Matt Murphy. 25 people are reported killed, more than 100 injured in prison riots in Sri Lanka. I'm Chris Foster. This is Fox News.
We have cloudy skies, 68 degrees. Good morning. I'm Jeff Banaski, WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM News Time 7:05. This news update brought to you by Destination Kia of Utica on Commercial Drive in Yorkville. A man incarcerated at the Oneida County Correctional Facility passed away over the holiday weekend. It occurred on Sunday. A corrections officer found a male unresponsive in his cell and activated the emergency medical response protocol. The man was later taken to Wynn Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. Oneida County Sheriff Rob Maciel says due to the nature of the incident, the Onondaga County Medical Examiner's Office was contacted and responded to the correctional facility to also investigate. The name of the man is not yet being released until next of kin has been notified. Further details on the death investigation will be released as soon as they can be. According to the sheriff, the sheriff's office is conducting a full investigation into this death, along with the subsequent independent investigation by the State Commission of Corrections and the State Attorney General's office. Utica police investigating a shots fired incident in the city came upon a man who was struck by those bullets. Police were called to the 1000 block of Churchill Ave on Friday after ShotSpotter alert sent them there. Upon arrival, units located several spent shell casings of at least 2 different calibers. And while conducting that investigation, a separate call was received about a person who had been struck by gunfire currently on the 1500 block of Kemble Street. They say they came across a man who was shot in his thigh. They say he was extremely uncooperative and he refused medical attention. The incident has been assigned to the Major Crimes Unit and is still being investigated. Anyone with information is asked to contact UPD, or you can submit a 100% anonymous tip online through Mohawk Valley Crime Stoppers. Robert Smullen dropping out of the race for the 21st Congressional District. He's now declining to stay in the battle and run on the Conservative Party line after he lost the GOP primary to Sticker Mule CEO Anthony Constantino. Smullen made his decision after a meeting with President Trump. He says he's now energized about keeping the district in Republican hands. Constantino is facing Democrat Blake Gendebine to see who will replace Elise Stefanik this November. The New York State Fair says they will be upgrading security measures this year. Among the changes, cars not being allowed to enter the exterior perimeter of the grounds from 8:30 a.m. until 11:30 p.m. to improve pedestrian safety. Also, you can no longer park in the interior lots near the infirmary, and new fencing will be installed around the RV lots. This year's fair begins August 26th and runs through September 7th. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM news time is 7:08. Here is your Weather Center forecast.
There will be some clouds from this morning into the afternoon and also the potential for a few isolated showers today as the high hits 78. More rain may fall this evening, then cloudy overnight with a low dropping down to 60. A partly to mostly cloudy Tuesday with an occasional shower and a high of 78. Then sunny normal by Wednesday with a high of 87. I'm Jeff Marr at the Weather Channel on WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Right now, cloudy and 68 at 7:08. All right, from the IBEW Local 43 Sports Desk, Team USA back at it tonight. And still some question as to who will be on the pitch for the United States. The team battles Belgium in the round of 16 from Seattle. It's an 8 o'clock start, televised on Fox. The Stars and Stripe got news from FIFA over the weekend that Balogun has had his suspension overturned and is now eligible to play in tonight's game. The star forward received a red card in last week's game against Bosnia, which usually carries an automatic suspension for the following game. The U.S. trying to make its first quarterfinals appearance at the World Cup since 2002. As we spoke last hour, the Belgium and the United States have until, 8 this morning to file an appeal with FIFA to determine whether or not he's going to be eligible to play. It's confusing because he wasn't going to play. Then they said he could play. Now they're going to decide today whether he can play. It's confusing. Anyway, on the pitch last night, Norway beat Brazil by a final of 2-1 in New Jersey. It's the first time Norway has made the quarters at the World Cup ever. Brazil legend Neymar converted a late penalty and announced his retirement after the game. In Mexico, England was down to 10 men, but they still held on for a 3-2 victory. Jude Bellingham netted a quick-fire brace, and Harry Kane converted a penalty to help them advance. Baseball action yesterday, the Mets held off the Braves 10-9 in Atlanta. Nolan McLean picked up the victory. Bo Bichette 3 for 5, 3 RBIs. The Mets snap a 3-game losing streak. They wrap up their 4-game series tonight. The Yankees, meanwhile, have lost 9 of their last 10. They dropped the rubber match to the Twins 6-1 in the Bronx yesterday. Ryan Weathers took the loss. The Yankees now head to Tampa Bay for a 4-game series that begins in St. Pete tonight. NBA big man Mitchell Robinson, who is now with the Celtics, formerly with the Knicks, and won a championship last month, posting on Sunday about the fractured 5th metacarpal bone in his right hand. He said he broke his hand after finding out that his younger brother was involved in a car accident that included potentially severe or life-threatening injuries. Robinson said he banged his hand on his truck as a reaction to that news, leading to the broken bone in his hand. Again, he is now with the Boston Celtics. Smitty, what else do I need to mention? NASCAR over the weekend?
Chase Briscoe, slam dunk. I got it.
Oh, you did?
Yes, I did.
Very nice. What were the odds?
Plus 1,200.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
12-1.
Yes.
Very nice. Chris Gotterup wins the John Deere Classic, and the president of the NCAA is pushing back against prop betting at the collegiate level. During an interview with CBS's Face the Nation, Charlie Baker said the practice of sports betting has changed the character and culture of fandom. Prop betting involves gambling on a player or event that's not necessarily tied to the final score. Baker, who served as governor of the governor of Massachusetts from 2015 to 2023, said student athletes likely have people in their circle asking them to rig performances for the sake of making a profit. He called it incredibly demoralizing for student athletes, adding that he believes they're starting to win the discussion and this debate with the public. You want to turn him on? Oh, wrong mic. There you go.
Yeah. So basically what's happened with that, as I mentioned, since the Sorsby case, there's been more investigations. There's been several prop bets, like you can bet if the first pass of the game is going to be an incompletion or a completion.
Sure.
Or if a run's going to go for this or that. So there's been quarterbacks who have deliberately had incompletions on their first pass. Or they haven't converted their first third down of the game. So all those little prop bets can be bet on, and players can get away with it without really being noticed, because if you just
here's how you
threw
fix
it over
this,
threw it over their head.
How you fix this?
Yeah, you eliminate betting.
Well, no, because you're never going to eliminate betting anymore. That's gone.
Well, the student athlete shouldn't.
Listen, well, they shouldn't be betting, but well, they shouldn't be. I mean, professional teams don't allow it.
They do, as long as it's not on their sport.
Wrong. It depends on each franchise. Every franchise has their own rules, and you follow them, or you could be let go. Whether it be an employee or a player, and it is. And remember, some of these franchises own several different teams in different sports.
Correct.
So the way you fix it is the only prop bets allowed should be what would you call them? Accomplishment prop bets, like
300-yard games.
You hit a home run if this at bat you're going to hit a home run. Not if this at bat you're going to fail, because if you put anywhere where you can create a failure, that's opening the door for cheating on any sport. It shouldn't just be collegiate, right?
Yeah, I will say this though, because there was news over the weekend about some more gambling investigations with professional players.
Yeah.
I've seen video of games.
I'm not saying they don't do it; they're not supposed to.
No, but what I'm saying is, when you talk about the over/under, I mostly agree that the way to eliminate that is by basically saying you take the fail out of the equation. But so I've seen video of guys who had 3 rebounds and their over/under was 4. So you notice they don't try to get any rebounds for the rest of the game. But I've also seen it where a guy was trying to get his over at, let's say it's 5 rebounds, and he's like boxing out his own teammates, pushing teammates over, trying to get that loose ball, and it almost becomes obvious at that point what he's doing.
Yeah.
And I
the over/under
watching videos about it.
Is over/under considered a prop bet though?
Well, when you say you're fail,
it's a prop bet.
So it's like 4 rebounds for the game, or let's say it would be 6 catches.
I don't think anything that can. But you're right. It could still make a change for someone attempting to overachieve as opposed to being a sharing player, a teammate, right? But at the end of the day, I think that if you go in and you're especially in basketball, and you say you're not gonna perform to your fullest, then people are going to cheat. It's going to happen. Well, there's no way you're going to get around it unless you eliminate that bet.
It's incredible the amount of risk that athletes are willing to take.
Overseas, what are you going to do? How are you going to make the illegal ones overseas change? You're not.
That's what happened with the federal investigation into the NBA. There were several NBA players and coaches suspended for betting. And also, it is legal as long as you're not gambling on your own sport that you play in professionally.
No, but what he's saying is, though, because
the franchise, he says,
because my son works for works for a franchise,
and they prohibit it for
anything not team, and not a game that their team is playing in, any sport,
they don't allow it.
Any sport that they own, and they own several.
Right, because they have like an NHL team, an NBA team, and a what?
Baseball. They have
baseball, right? So that blocks you out of three sports.
Like Buffalo does.
The big three, yeah.
So, so any of those sports, you're not allowed. And if you're caught, how they handle. My son's an accountant. How they handle an accountant versus your star player may very well be is going to be a lot different. However, that's their rules. That's what you sign off on. Yeah. So each franchise has their own rules. Whatever the NFL allows, I don't know.
Yeah, the league has rules on it as well.
Yeah, the league allows you to do it. Like I said, I don't think they should, but they allow you to bet as long as it's not on their sport.
What a different world we're living in. Where
in college, it was a disaster mistake to do that.
Yeah, because the problem is you do have players that are playing that are not making the NIL money that two other players on their team are making huge money, and there they are trying to make ends meet. And they can make a little side bet, and that's what this is happening.
And it's part of
parties
is access to information, and I don't think you can ever eliminate that completely. I mean, you talk about a guy who's on the bench who's not getting NIL money, but he knows the star player's got a weak knee, and he might not play the second half because he's got a knee issue.
Yeah, and that's
not publicly out there. It's the information, and I think that's why the example you give with
that is exactly
who the person
reason.
is. I forget. I know who it is, but have you said who the person is who works for the...
Oh, it's my son.
Yeah, your son, yeah. So your son might be privy to walking down the hall hearing, so-and-so broke his toe in a bicycle accident this afternoon. Yep. He's now got information.
And if you will be fired if it's found that you're sharing that information.
Yeah.
So... but that's all a part of it.
It's
I didn't want to say who it was unless you.
Yeah,
said it on the air.
But listen, and you because what could happen, by the way, is he could be sharing information to me, or I could be placing a bet for him.
Exactly,
and that would change the way it would change. The Nuggets are on a win streak, but you find out. What's his name? Their star player is going to be out tonight, or he's struggling a little bit.
Yeah, he and his girlfriend broke up.
Yeah,
or his wife found out he was having an affair, so his mind
everything.
is someplace else. Yeah.
And if you think that's going on in professional sports, imagine in college where it's roommates getting information and then they're sharing with their families, and it's just craziness. All right, stand by. Coming up, we had John Swan in the other day. He's written a new book. And a lot of people are saying great things about this Charlie Chan series. I thought we'd keep it in the family. We're going to talk to his daughter coming up. Also, say good morning to Joe Malachi.
Good morning, Joe Malachi.
From Rome.
Good morning.
Good morning. Do you, how's your Italian?
Used to be better when my parents were alive.
Okay.
Not so great.
Because I've turned on my, my phone now has this... Yeah, get right in there. So my phone now has built in this translation. So if someone sends you a message or speaks to you in another language, it will automatically I haven't used it yet, so.
Yeah, it's some awesome technology.
Yeah, and it's in real time. It's unbelievable.
You want to know something funny? Yesterday, while I'm watching soccer, again, the United States was not playing. England was in one of the games, but
this was a big, and that was, they say that may be one of the greatest games of all time.
It was amazing.
Yeah, it was a really good game. So, but sometimes when you see the players arguing and yelling, I don't know if it's just my mind fills in the blanks. It looks like they're cursing and arguing in English. So I was actually having a conversation with somebody about who speaks Spanish. It must have been the Brazil game. Who speaks Spanish I was trying to get the pronunciation on some curse words.
Yeah.
But as I'm watching it on television, it looks like he's saying "what the bleep."
Yeah.
But I don't think the guy speaks English. So it's one of these. This is a great tool to have.
Jeff,
by the
I
way.
think
Definitely.
it's just PSTD from you umpiring.
If we could, to me, it's one of those things where,
Did you call it PSTD?
I have no
did.
PSTD.
I did because I don't get to speak much. So I
okay.
no, please.
Boom.
PTSD.
If you're riding an elevator and there's someone that they almost always they speak English, but they also speak Italian or Spanish or whatever, and they begin to talk in another language, and you're standing there.
Yeah.
They're talking about you.
Or assume that.
You can find out.
Yeah.
Now you know. Or I've been there. I really have been there. If your girlfriend's mother hates you and her first language is not English and she begins speaking while you're standing right there in Spanish, she's talking about you. And there you go. I was trying to think of some of the swear words that I was being called, but I guess even in Spanish, those would be inappropriate for the radio, right?
Yes.
All right, hold on tight. We'll come right back. The World Series of Botch.
Yeah.
Speaking another language, is going to be coming up, and we'll actually be broadcasting live from out there, and we'll talk about that. Quickly, Stefan has been all over the place this weekend. He is the fireworks aficionado. He has gone from one display to another to backyard displays. He's been everywhere. Stefan, what a weekend. Happy 250th this weekend.
Yes, happy 4th of July, post 4th of July. Now, with all the betting talk you guys are talking about, what comes to my mind is Pete Rose.
Yeah.
And he had to pay the consequences. And he paid them fully, and we can go on and on if he should be in the Hall of Fame or not. And he's finally getting in because I guess he died. And
well, this is right.
And I'll let you guys finish it up.
All right, Stefan. Thanks. You have a great day.
Have a good day.
Roger.
Thank you, Stefan. Right. He's all over our YouTube comments as well this morning. He had a good weekend.
But the problem with Pete Rose is he knew what he shouldn't have been doing. He bet against his own team, and he refused to cooperate. He refused to admit it. He refused to.
Did he ever admit betting against? He claimed he always bet for.
They said he bet against. He said he didn't.
Okay.
And that's part of why Major League Baseball, they know. Right? There's stuff they know, and he still won't come out because he's looking more for public opinion. So, that Pete Rose thing can be argued. I just don't know how you take away all of the things that he accomplished when he was an active player. How do you take that away? None of the betting impeded or helped him in any way during that time. So, I don't know. I don't know what you do with that one. Hold tight. We'll come right back at WIBX.
Brought to you by Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, located in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer, and online at tallmanstire.com.
Around here, a good vehicle isn't just transportation, it's family time, weekend adventures, and getting where life takes you. Maybe you're loading up the kids for a day at the Utica Zoo, or you're heading north to Enchanted Forest Water Safari for the weekend. Or maybe you're pointing the hood south toward Cooperstown and the National Baseball Hall of Fame. Wherever the road leads, you want to know your vehicle is ready for the trip. And right now at Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, purchase any 4 Bridgestone tires and receive a $150 rebate. It's a great time to upgrade your ride before your next adventure, because when you're headed somewhere important, peace of mind rides along too. Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, driving our community since 1980. Trusted for quality, known for service, and helping get you there safely, mile after mile. Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, Yorkville, Utica, Rome, and Herkimer, or online at tallmanstire.com. We'll keep the wheels turning so you can keep making memories.
Hi, this is Rob Hilton. If you have substantial assets, a delay in planning can cost you.
It takes time to reduce taxes and protect assets. Planning ahead can save money and ease the stress on your family. We employ multiple strategies to protect what you have built. Call us for a free analysis of your tax and asset protection issues, because the smartest plan is made early.
Hilton, you know the name, they know the law. Hilton Estate and Elder Law.
Did you know your most treasured rugs can look new again? At ABC ChemDry, we specialize in premium area rug cleaning. From treasured family heirlooms to fine rugs from around the world, our trained specialists use a careful 5-step process inspecting, dusting, cleaning, drying, grooming, and protecting, so your rug always gets the expert care it deserves. Don't wait. Call ABC ChemDry today at 315-738-1111 to schedule a drop-off or pickup.
You wouldn't drive a car without suspension, so why mow without it? Ferris Commercial Mowers set the bar as the first and only manufacturer to integrate suspension into their mowers, allowing you to go faster, cut better, and not get beat up. Whether you're a professional cutter or a homeowner that wants to mow like a pro, Ferris is there with the commercial-grade mowers to keep you going strong. Visit the Caledonia family today at Clinton Tractor to set up a test drive and feel the Ferris difference.
We are the leader in service, Clinton Tractor.
The 4th of July sale is on at upstate New York's largest specialty bedding retailer, Mattress Express. Save up to $1,350 on our huge selection of brands. And remember, we beat any locally advertised price on a brand we carry. Hurry!
Mohawk Valley Crime Stoppers is a simple, anonymous way to keep our neighborhood safe by reporting crimes anonymously. Cash incentives are available if the tip leads to an arrest. If you see something, say it here. MohawkValleyCrimeStoppers.com or phone in tips at 866-730-TIPS. And registration is now open for the 6th annual Crime Stoppers Golf Outing, Saturday, September 19th at the Shamrock Golf Course in Oriskany. Call Anna for registration forms at 315-269-3924.
Hi, Billy Mays here with the brand new Keeler Kill Switch. When that morning show starts yapping about something you can't stand, don't reach for the dial. Just press this big red button and BAM!
This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
See, John is saying, I think it's being misunderstood what we're saying about sports betting here. John says, I don't see how you can generate accomplishment-style bets. A pitcher getting a K, a strikeout, is an accomplishment that a batter can fall for a successful bet. Okay, I guess that's true. So, but that would be because the bettor can only bet that he will, in order to win, he'll reach this number of strikes. But you would have to have several batters. They'd all have to be in on it, right?
Maybe, but
you're only going to come around maybe 4 times a game.
To make it simple for John, look, this is what happened with the Cleveland Guardians. Essentially, there were 2 pitchers, and they would say the first pitch of the inning will be a ball. So the pitcher would just spike it in the dirt because you have the risk that the batter could swing. And as a matter of fact,
well, that bet should be eliminated.
Right.
That's my point.
There was a circumstance when this was all going on where I remember watching the video where there was a bet placed, and what triggers a lot of this, right? Because everybody's throwing balls and strikes. What triggers a lot of this is there's a huge amount of money placed on a random prop bet. Where typically how many people are betting on, is this going to be a ball or a strike? And then you see a huge spike in the bets. So it would be the first pitch of the inning. And I can't remember the pitchers' names off the top of my head, but many times you would see there would be all this activity about they're betting it's a ball, and the pitcher would spike the ball. So it's clearly a ball. You run the risk, though, of the batter swinging. So he would make it so far out of the zone that it's not really a pitch that a batter would go to. But there were a couple instances where even though the pitch was in the dirt or 3 feet off the plate, the batter, swung. And that spoils the bet. So eliminating a prop bet like that, John, is the easy way. Not betting on the outcome of the at-bat. Just betting on, is this pitch a ball or a strike?
It's not going to eliminate all chances, but it will significantly decrease. For instance, you can bet in live betting that Juan Soto is going to, in the second at-bat, is going to hit a home run. And now that's an accomplishment that is not necessarily easy to accomplish. Now, a pitcher, I guess, could eliminate that by throwing outside to him. An intentional walk would ruin that bat. That would mean you would lose that bat. The other thing is, it is possible for, but almost improbable. It is possible that someone could know that everybody's betting that bat. Juan Soto's on a real streak, and all of a sudden the collusion is not with Soto, but it's with the pitcher, who was just kind of lobbing one in and giving him the perfect pitch to hit the home run.
Yeah, when you think about
so
this,
you really can't eliminate all of it, but you could significantly decrease the chance.
This was brought up in the Cleveland Guardian pitcher situation, and even in some cases in the college ball with the NIL money. These individuals are making millions of dollars, and they're risking that, and they're complete and forever banned from the sport in exchange for tens of thousands of dollars. It's stupid.
Mike,
it's happening.
Part of Pete Rose's problem is getting reinstated was he was an unlikable character. That's also really, really true. And I think that played a role in it. Could you imagine if it happened to a guy like Johnny Bench, who everybody loved, and who was the home run hitter during the steroids?
McGuire, Sosa,
Barry Bonds, who was hated by everybody. So, you know.
Roger Clemens. Well, McGuire's not in, Sosa's not in, Clemens isn't in.
Right. Yeah.
Bonds isn't in.
Let me go to, we'll change topics, and we can talk about this some more coming up.
Well, because I want to bet on the World Series of Botch, so we're going to get to that.
We're going the betting is big. Sarah Swan is now and it just so happens that she is the daughter of John Swan. She is the head of the nonprofit Utica Creative Reuse, and they're promoting an upcoming event, a treasure exhibit, which is going to be happening on Friday from 6 until 8 p.m. And Sarah is on the line right now. Sarah Swan, good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
All right, tell me, first of all, what is your nonprofit, Utica Creative Reuse? What is it?
Yeah, so we're a nonprofit dedicated to diverting usable materials from the landfill, specifically supplies for arts and crafts. So we run a secondhand arts and crafts thrift store where you can buy supplies and materials to do whatever your fun craft or artistic passion is. And we also run a challenge, an art challenge every year called the Trash to Treasure Art Challenge, which is a community art project that encourages people to find new and unexpected ways to reuse materials that we've been accustomed to seeing as trash, and to start a conversation about how we can be better stewards of our environment by going out. We start every year around Earth Week with a community cleanup, picking up litter. And people are, while they're out there cleaning up their communities, they're looking for interesting objects that they could use to create a work of art. Yeah. And over the last few months, we run free workshops at our nonprofit, Utica Creative Reuse. We host lots of free art classes and events focused on reuse and repair and creativity, and we teach people how they can use found objects in artwork.
Hey.
Like mosaics and sculptures and different kinds of different.
Do you have a favorite project that you walked away and were like, this is the coolest? This is exactly what we wanted this organization to accomplish. This is my favorite. Do you have one of those?
Well, we just love to see what people find when they're creating their mosaics. They find just, bits from all kinds of trash. You can use little bits of metal or ceramic, glass. So those always turn out so unexpected and interesting, completely individual to everybody who makes them. But it's, the same traditional kind of art that you would use in a traditional mosaic artwork. So it's a really interesting marriage between this like unexpected, non-traditional materials and this traditional art form.
Tell us what will happen on Friday, 6 till 8 p.m. where it is, and what will be going on.
Yeah, so on Friday, July 10th from 6 to 8 p.m. at Utica Creative Reuse. We're located at 734 Columbia Street in Utica, right over in West Utica near the hospital. And we're going to be celebrating 12 local artists who took the challenge and created a work of art for this exhibition of found object art. So it is a group exhibition and supported by the CNY Arts so we got funding that's made possible by the statewide Community Regrants Program, which is a regrant program of the New York State Council on the Arts with support of the Office of the Governor and the New York State Legislature, and administered by CNY Arts. Just have to throw the funding language in there, and we're very grateful for their support. Yeah. And it's also made possible by all the individuals who support Utica Creative Reuse, because we could not do this without everybody who's donated or shopped at our thrift store. And, of course, the artists, we're really excited to celebrate them, and we'd like to invite all the listeners to join us and come see what kind of awesome artwork they created by just going out into their communities. We had people picking up trash from Long Island to Remsen to Syracuse to all over Utica. So we've got some really interesting works that they've made with things that they found while they were going out there trying to make their communities a more beautiful, safer place. So we're really happy and excited to celebrate that.
I once had a girlfriend who considered me as her trash project. She didn't like what I wore. She didn't like the way I wore my hair. When I had hair. She didn't, before I knew it, I was just a completely different person. A whole new art project I was.
Because someone to treasure you. That's wonderful.
Turn it into a treasure. I'm not sure how much of a treasure, but all right. Interesting, Sarah. It sounds like this is a great way to get junk picked up, but also to be able to come up with one-of-a-kind, really, really unique items that you can purchase for your home.
Yeah, and I just want to give a shout-out, too, also to the City of Utica DPW for helping us pick up the rest of the trash. Nice. We can't use everything in our projects, and we really like to use this as a way to go out and try to help, keep our communities clean, and they really help us by picking up all that trash, and also Keep Mohawk Valley Beautiful supplies us with free trash bags and gloves. You can reach out to them or Jean Allen at the City of Utica if you're interested in doing a community cleanup of your own.
Very nice. Okay, good stuff, Sarah. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We hope we'll see you all Friday.
All right, good luck. Thank you.
Take care.
That is Friday from 6 until 8 p.m. All right, Davey, it's Hobica's free money question of the day. We start off a whole brand new week. And by the way, this week, consolation, whether you win the money or not, you'll walk away with a bonus prize, I guess. Tickets to Stampede Rodeo at the Adirondack Bank Center coming up July 31st through August 1st. And we have tickets to give away this week. And Davey, what caller number, what amount, what are we looking at?
Caller 8 and $150.
$150. Caller 8, plus your chance at Stampede Rodeo tickets as well. We'll do that next at 315-736-0186 at WIBX.
To celebrate 250 years of American independence, the United States Mint has released one of the most historic silver-proof sets ever assembled, the complete 10-coin 1776-2026 Semi-Quincentennial Collection. Each of these remarkable designs will only be produced for 1 year and never be struck again. This remarkable set features the Lincoln Cent, Jefferson Nickel, and Emerging Liberty Dime, each showcasing a dual date for the very first time ever, plus 5 Semi-Quincentennial Quarters, honoring pivotal moments in American history. The Enduring Liberty Half Dollar, showcasing the first ever depiction of the Statue of Liberty on a half dollar, and the Native American dollar with the first dual date ever struck as edge lettering on a U.S. coin. This 250th anniversary 10-coin set is expected to sell out quickly. Once these are gone, they may be impossible to secure again. Receive this first ever 1 year only American 250th anniversary silver coin set by calling 1-800-785-9908. That's 1-800-785-9908. 1-800-785-9908.
Brought to you by Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, located in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer, and online at tallmanstire.com.
Clearing out your home or commercial building, John's Cleanouts and Property Preservation will handle it for you. We handle residential or any size commercial property, before and after estate sale cleanouts, or any junk removal service. John's Cleanouts and Property Preservation is a 5-star rated and background checked business, providing service you can count on, and we're fully insured in the industry. Call John's Cleanouts and Property Preservation today and take the stress out of your mess.
Get a smile for every season at Rosansky Family Dentistry. For crowns to veneers, we'll keep you smiling all year long. We're also excited to welcome Dr. Kutaria to our team. With her arrival, we now offer Friday appointments from 8 a.m. to noon, giving you more flexibility for the care you need. Call us today at 315-732-1981 to schedule your visit. That's Rosansky Family Dentistry, 1 Paris Road, New Hartford. Find us on Facebook or online at uticasmiles.com.
Hi folks, Gold Leaf Refining pays immediate cash for gold, silver, diamonds, and coins. We also buy sports memorabilia, military items, U.S. and foreign paper money, musical instruments, fine art, comic books, and much, much more. All transactions are confidential. Our Gold Leaf associates are professional estate buyers and will give a fair and accurate offer for your valuables. So gather your unwanted gold, silver, diamonds, and coins and stop in today. Gold Leaf Refining, 42 New Hartford Shopping Center in New Hartford.
Utica in the Mohawk Valley, upstate New York's largest specialty bedding retailer, Mattress Express's 4th of July sale is on. Remember, no one in New York State has all the brands under one roof that we have, and right now, save up to $1,350 and take 5 years to pay with no money down for qualified buyers on names like Tempur-Pedic, Stearns & Foster, Sealy, Purple, Puffy, Simmons Beauty Rest Black, Serta, iComfort, Avocado, and more. Remember, every day we have no credit check payment plans as well. In New Hartford on Commercial Drive next to Pet Supplies Plus, in Oneida in the Glenwood Plaza where the movie theaters are, in Rome on Black River Boulevard next to Ollie's. Call 1-800-NEW-BEDS, go to mattressexpressny.com, and remember, their sale is our sale. Bring in any locally advertised price on a brand we carry. We will beat the price. We want to earn your business. Come see us at Mattress Express.
All right, listen, River Hills Properties continues to invest in upstate New York. If you're looking to sell a home and you need an agency that's really a listing agent that's really going to be a part of your team and lead your team, you're going to find that with River Hills. They're with you from the very beginning till the end. Every step of the process. And they come up with a manual for your home. They call it the book. Your listing agent there every time the house is shown. It really is having a full team assisting you and really lowering that tense level, the stress level that you have when selling a home. And they're there right up to the closing. It's River Hills. Now, they have offices in Barneveld and Little Falls, Newport, and now in Rome. And, of course, if you want to test out the snowbird world where you avoid the winters that we've been having, some tough winters the last few years, they have a full team ready to help you and assist you in sunny Florida, Sarasota, including Naples and Marco Island, just some of the most beautiful places you'll find anywhere. It's River Hills Properties. And you can call them at 315-896-1009. RHPsells.com is the website. It's River Hills Properties. Nobody sells homes like River Hills Properties.
WIBX.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
All right, let's give somebody a chance at $150. And that somebody is Eric in Deerfield. Hello, Eric. Good morning.
Good morning, Bill. How's everybody?
Doing well. You want to say hi to everybody? Go ahead.
Sure. Hello, everybody.
Hello, Eric. Cully, don't pout. You can say hello back. You don't have to be mad.
All right. Hello, Cully. You get a special hello.
I'm being respectful.
Okay. Yes, that's good. That's very good. I'm so happy. Okay. Are you able to use the rodeo tickets, by the way?
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah, I think it would be. Stampede Rodeo tickets, they are yours from the Adirondack Bank Center, July 31st through August 1st, which will be here before you know it. And we have a pair of tickets for you. Everything from bull riding, bareback horse riding, barrel racing, team roping, and the list goes on. Go to Empire State Tix for details, TIX, or call 315-790-9070. A pair of tickets will cost you $42, just like that. All right, are you ready? Here is your question, Eric. You know the deal. Get your answer in for $150. Get it in before the buzzer. And here is your question. Name the cinematic production that caused a worldwide shortage of pink paint. Ready, go.
What was Barbie?
What? Well, you're going in the form of a question here. What is Barbie? That is absolutely correct. Where's my win? There it is. Yeah, I mean, what else would it be?
I know, that's a lot of pink in that movie, even though I haven't seen it.
So much pink in that movie, it caused a worldwide shortage of pink, especially production paint that you would use. That was a real problem. Well, there we go. It's been a little while. It's been how long since we had a winner?
Yeah,
it's been a little while.
That? Yeah.
Very nice. And you'll get the tickets to the Stampede Rodeo. Eric, you stand by. Davey is going to hook you up.
All right, thank you, Bill.
All right, Eric. Thanks so much. Did we all know the answer to that one?
I did not.
Yeah. Okay. You didn't know.
Did not see the movie.
Joe Malachi is in. Joseph, good morning.
Good morning, Bill.
So here we are.
Yeah, 2 weeks away.
2 weeks away.
In fact, we're doing our draw tonight for the teams.
Tell everybody who's never been to the World Series of Bocce, what that is like. What happens?
Well, first of all, where you been? I mean, we've been around for over 50 years in Rome, so. But it's
really one of the biggest things that happens in Rome.
Yeah, it's. I think it's the second largest community event in Rome, next to the Honor America Days. Yeah.
Does Honor America happen the same time, or is that different this year?
It's usually at the end of July, so it's the last weekend.
Yeah, last week.
Yep.
Right.
So, but it's not only a bocce event where it's competition where we have teams coming in from all over the country to play, 128 teams in the open division and another 50 teams in the women's division. But it's also, as you say, a community gathering. So people from Rome and from the area who are familiar with the event plan their holidays around it and make sure that they're in Oneida County for that weekend.
Like the Boilermaker, yes. It is, and by the way, the Boilermaker this weekend,
right?
World Series of Bocce next weekend. So if you come home for your reunion, you come home this weekend, you stay all next week,
right.
You stay next weekend, and you've gotten both in, and then you can head off.
There's a lot of partying going on, and the World Series starts on Thursday, and it goes straight through till Sunday. So
you got all week long,
all week long.
You could party like these guys,
the World Cup guys.
The World Cup guys,
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. They're here for the whole month.
Yeah, yep. Well, the European lifestyle allows for that,
yes,
too.
A little different. Summertime.
Yeah. So what are you specifically referring to with that?
The
European lifestyle. I was astonished to know that some people
the month of July is basically it's not completely shut down, but it's shut down.
Yeah. So do people still work at the convenience stores and restaurants?
You still have people that don't, just like here, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, 4th of July was Saturday. It's not one of those holidays where everything closes.
Right.
But
so you still have people who work the holidays.
Typically, you'd get, if you're working at a store, you'd get holiday pay. You'd get time and a half.
They may. I don't know the answer to that.
To know that everyone's off for a whole month, and I'm working 9 to 5 5 days a week is a little deflating.
So I saw a TikToker from England, and she was like bemoaning the fact that somebody from America had called Europeans lazy because they have 28 days off per year minimum. So it gives them time to come over.
They also have a living wage,
right?
So when you sit down for dinner, and I think they call it a living or working living, whatever it is called.
Yeah.
You sit down, they don't really expect a tip. You might leave maybe $1, maybe, but they don't expect the tip because they have a wage that covers the tip.
I believe I heard in Japan it's actually disrespectful to leave a tip.
Might be, yeah. And in some cases here it is, whether it be Italy or Great Britain or wherever, it's similar.
Yeah.
And that's how these people can come over here from Scotland or from England or wherever, and the game happens on a Monday, and then for the rest of the week they travel around the country, then come back to the next game, and then travel again. They're here all month.
Yeah, it's incredible.
A little boost to the economy.
Yeah.
You have people that come to the World Series of Botch from all over the country.
All over the country. We have 10 states represented this year, and we've had teams come from as far as Arizona to play in the tournament. Yeah, so.
And the rules of bocce.
Rules of bocce, pretty straightforward. The rules are simple, but the game is complex. So, basically you're rolling a smaller ball called a Paulino, and you're trying to get as close to that ball as possible with larger balls. And, there's a lot of strategy involved in the game. Once you get involved in the game, start playing, you realize how much strategy is involved.
Yeah.
But that's basically it. I mean, you're basically trying to get your balls closer to the Paulino than the opponent.
And the World Series of Botch.
Yes.
Features amazing food and great entertainment.
Yes, that's right. So we have an on-site restaurant now as of last October, I want to say.
Okay.
We had American Pie move in, and so American Pie is doing the food for the World Series, as well as we have a catering crew coming in as well to do the outdoor food. So the food's always been great there. The atmosphere, the music, the competition, the camaraderie, meeting up with old friends and family. It's just a great atmosphere.
I had a chance. Was it last year? 2 years ago. I've been a few times just to take it all in. Just
and you'll be there. And you'll be there this year.
Yeah, absolutely, for the broadcast. But I mean, I went like on a Friday night and had a couple beers and was just watching games. And it's entertaining. It is fun. It's a good time, and it is a ton of people. How many and teams as well? I believe over the last couple of years have set new records for the number of participants. Is that right?
So the Open Division, 128 teams. That's the biggest bocce tournament in the country, probably in the world, actually. And I sounded a little like Trump there, didn't I?
You did.
Didn't say biggest bocce tournament of all time. Yeah, thank you.
I like it.
It's 128 teams, four-person teams. So there's over 600 people there between men and women's division. And the prize money is the largest as well. It's
what's the prize this year?
I think we're over $35,000.
Wow!
Yeah, so in prize money,
that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead.
All tax deductible, right?
Oh yeah.
Anybody else plan that at all?
Cully, Mr. Podcaster, now you can ask a question. Are you? This is on the fly. Ready?
I'm here.
You're on. This is Joe Malachi.
Do you actually play yourself?
I do.
Part of a team?
Yes. Yeah, so this is actually
your team?
a shirt from a few years ago.
And how long have you played for?
I'm relatively new. I started playing late in life, unfortunately. I mean, a lot of these teams that are really good have guys that have been playing since in their teen years. But I started playing probably when I was in my early 40s.
Was there something that piqued your interest or drew your interest in the game?
I had a friend that played, and I had been playing golf quite a bit, but I just found that golf took up way too much of my time. So a friend of mine asked me to sub one time. I went there, I got the bug, and
boom,
it's great.
It just happened.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
You're speaking about young players. Yes. You have some real young superstars.
Yes, Nico Fox. So he a couple years ago was asked to sub on a team from Ohio. They were missing a player because his wife had a baby. So they asked him to sub on the team. He was 16 at the time, and they went all the way to the finals and won it. So he was the youngest player ever to win a World Series, and here he is from Rome, New York.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just wondering if the Olympics has the Olympics been in Italy to the point where they said the sport we're adding is bocce.
So here's the problem. What we play in Rome is what's called an open bocce style, where the backboard is live. So if you try to hit a ball and you miss it and it hits the backboard, that ball is still in play. The international rules play a totally different game. If you touch the sideboard, the ball is dead. If you hit the backboard, the ball is dead. If you hit the Paulino without saying and it rolls more than 9 centimeters or something like that, because they mark all the balls, the ball is dead. So there isn't a
uniform hit it without saying,
without calling. Like you're calling a shot like in billiards or something like that.
Okay.
So the international rules are so stringent and so different than these open rules. It's difficult to come up with a uniform set of rules that, say, the Olympics would accept.
Right. And then other teams in other countries would accept.
Teams. Right. Yeah. So that's the difficulty there.
Okay.
But that being said, it is growing in popularity. There's new professional leagues that are popping up in Ohio and in Illinois and Chicago, and it is growing. And there's a lot of young people playing it.
Okay. Next Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Yes. So the 16th, I think, is
a week from this Thursday.
Yes.
And we will be broadcasting from out there. Is it Friday morning? We're doing?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Friday morning. All right, stand by. We'll come right back. Hold tight.
I have coming up a statement from the Union of European Football on the situation with FIFA and the red card and the overturn. You want to stay tuned for what they say.
Okay. And I want to get into the Robert Smullen issue as well. We'll do that in a second. Hold on.
Shh, here she comes. Surprise! They sent a duplicate shipment to your flower shop. Now you have to pay for 1,000 extra carnations. Also, there's a beehive outside your store, and they're super aggressive. There's thousands of them.
Progressive knows small business owners usually don't like surprises because they cost you money. But a good surprise, saving 10% or more on commercial auto insurance when you pay in full.
Also, the egg salad you just ate was expired. Gross.
Surprise yourself. See if you can save in as little as 8 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
Did you know your most treasured rugs can look new again? At ABC ChemDry, we specialize in premium area rug cleaning. From treasured family heirlooms to fine rugs from around the world, our trained specialists use a careful 5-step process inspecting, dusting, cleaning, drying, grooming, and protecting, so your rug always gets the expert care it deserves. Don't wait. Call ABC ChemDry today at 315-738-1111 to schedule a drop-off or pickup.
At Excellus Blue Cross Blue Shield, we are dedicated to helping you understand your benefits and how to use them. It's one of the reasons why, for the 3rd straight year, we have been named #1 in customer satisfaction among Medicare Advantage plans in New York and #1 for ease of doing business by J.D. Power. We were named most trusted, too. We remain committed to giving you high-quality coverage and the best possible Medicare experience. Learn more at medicare.excellusbcbs.com. For J.D. Power 2025 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards.
The Scharf family has been serving Central New York plumbing and heating needs for over 100 years. Scharf Plumbing and Drain is a fully insured, licensed professional contractor providing both residential and light commercial installations and repairs. Give Frank and his team a call today at 315-796-5750. 315-796-5750. Scharf Plumbing and Drain. They want to be your plumber.
All right, instead of, let's get right back to this. Okay, so there's a statement that has come out regarding this red card by the American player. What do we have?
Yeah, so it's from the Union of European Football, which really is like, it would be like if there was a major a baseball tournament internationally,
Baseball Players
MLB
Association
weighing in on the situation. So they really have no say in this, but I'll read the statement in part. Here we go. Football, like any other sport, relies on rules, which are the basis of fair, honest, and transparent competition. Sometimes rules are open to interpretation. In this case, not. A minimum automatic suspension of 1 match following a red card is not a discretionary option and does not require the decision of a competent body to be enacted. It is a principle embedded in regulations which cannot be made subject to exceptions, let alone in the middle of a tournament where several other players have been in the same situation and regularly served their suspension. They say it calls into question the integrity of the game, and I will add, I guess, the integrity of the tournament, right?
Yeah.
And they say it crosses a red line. I do think this is a big deal.
Exactly what you said earlier is, no matter where you are on this, it'll be like an asterisk if the U.S. wins and moves on. All right, coming up, the Smullen issue. Says he's getting out. We'll get into it.
WIBX Utica Road, W295 beyond Utica.
From the WB Payne Insurance Studios, your news talk leader since 1925. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now the latest from Fox News.
World Cup controversy. I'm Chris Foster, Fox News. Team USA is waiting to find out if its leading star, Flo Balogun, will be able to play tonight against Belgium in Seattle. An automatic 1-game suspension after a red card ejection in the last match for stepping on an opponent's ankle was lifted by soccer's governing body FIFA after a phone call to its president from President Trump. Fox's Jay Berman reports that may not be the last word.
When the U.S. and Belgium meet in the round of 16, Balogun will indeed be in uniform, as for now. The Belgian Soccer Federation formally wrote to FIFA to appeal the matter, and the right to appeal was granted. The submission for the appeal had to be in by 8 a.m. Eastern Time, as well as the response from U.S. Soccer.
And that red card call itself was controversial. It doesn't appear that Balogun meant to hurt the other player. President Trump is expected to leave tonight for the NATO summit starting tomorrow in Ankara, Turkey. UK Ambassador Christian Turner spoke to Fox about the president's demand for more burden sharing. Here's Fox's Alex Hogan.
Ahead of the summit, the White House says that it's looking to what it calls a posture review of shifting the burden of Europe's defense to Europe. Britain's ambassador to the U.S. appeared on Fox saying that that's a message that the UK accepts.
The outgoing British Prime Minister announced a huge rise in our defense spending. It adds up to $393 billion US over the next 4 to 5 years.
President Trump will meet with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky at the summit. A senior U.S. official says the discussions will center on the urgency to end the war and that the president will likely also follow up with Russian President Vladimir Putin as well.
And Zelensky is asking for more international support after Russian airstrikes kill at least 18 people in and around the capital Kyiv overnight. In Rittman, Ohio, a police officer is killed. 2 others and a police dog are wounded. Shot responding to reports of gunfire at a home. That suspect and 2 other people were found dead inside the home. Several police cars with bullet holes had to be towed from the scene. America's listening to Fox News.
For 250 years, Americans have believed in one powerful idea, that we were meant to live free to work hard, free to move, free to enjoy life without being held back. But if everyday aches and pains are slowing you down, might be time to declare your independence from pain, like I did. I love telling you every day about Relief Factor, the 100% drug-free, research-based formula designed to help your body fight inflammation, one of the root causes of pain. It's not a quick fix or a temporary mask. It works from the inside out, at the source. Relief Factor was created so that people could get back to living life on their terms, walking, working, exercising, enjoying the moments that truly matter. This year, as we celebrate 250 years of American independence, take a stand for your own freedom. To commemorate, we're offering a special patriotic price, just $17.76, so you can declare your independence from pain and take your control. Just $17.76 for a 3-week quick start. It's ready for you. Visit ReliefFactor.com or call 800-4-RELIEF.
Today's the start of a 5-day hearing in Utah about what evidence can be introduced at Charlie Kirk's accused murderer Tyler Robinson's trial. A Georgia teacher suspended over social media comments about the murders reached a settlement with her school district.
The Southern Poverty Law Center announcing its client was awarded almost $300,000 in a settlement with their school district following her indefinite suspension shortly after the murder of Charlie Kirk. Michelle Mickens had posted to her Facebook page that the world was safer without the Turning Point USA founder, who was assassinated. She called him a horrible person, a fascist full of hate for anyone who is different. The school district has not commented on the settlement, but the SPLC issued a statement saying the case illustrates that public school employees, including teachers, have a constitutionally protected right to free speech. Sue Guzman, Fox News.
House Speaker Mike Johnson says he'll do what he can to get the Save America Act passed, requiring photo ID to vote in federal elections and proof of citizenship when registering to vote.
President Trump, during his July 4th speech on the National Mall, again stated his intent to pass voting reform. Speaker Johnson said on Fox News Sunday he'll stick to his plan to get that done.
We have done this in the House now 3 times already. We're going to do it again. And I'm going to put it in a reconciliation bill so that we can get it through the Senate. The problem is there's only 53 Republicans in the Senate.
That measure would need 7 Democrats to join Republicans to get it through. Speaker Johnson said because he believes Democrats allow cheating in elections is why it won't get Democratic support. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
Michigan State Senator Mallory McMorrow has dropped out of the Democrats' primary for U.S. Senate in a race that's now down to Congresswoman Haley Stevens. She's considered the more establishment candidate against Dr. Abdul El-Sayed, supported by the party's more progressive wing. I'm Chris Foster. This is Fox News.
Cloudy skies, 71 degrees. Good morning. I'm Jeff Manaski, WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM News Time is 8:05. This news update brought to you by Destination Kia of Utica on Commercial Drive in Yorkville. A death at the Oneida County Correctional Facility is under investigation. Sheriff Rob Mashel reports that on Sunday, corrections officers found a male unresponsive in his cell and immediately activated the emergency medical response protocol. Ultimately, the inmate was taken to Wynn Hospital, where he was later pronounced dead. Due to the nature of the incident, the Onondaga County Medical Examiner's Office was contacted and responded to the facility as well. They have their own investigation ongoing. The name of the individual is not yet being released until next of kin has been notified. Further details on the death investigation will be released as soon as they can be. That's according to a release from the Sheriff's Office. Now, the Sheriff's Office is conducting a full investigation into the death, along with subsequent independent investigations by the New York State Commission of Corrections and the New York State Attorney General's Office. Utica police investigating a shots fired incident came upon a man who had been shot in the thigh, and they say he was extremely uncooperative. This happened in the overnight hours on Friday on Churchill Ave when officers were alerted via shot spotter technology. Upon arrival, officers located several spent shell casings from at least 2 different calibers and were advised that a vehicle had been struck. Meanwhile, they were called to Kemble Street, the 1500 block there, where a man was found shot in the thigh. They say he was uncooperative, and from what little information they were able to obtain, it was determined that this party was on Churchill Avenue and was struck during the shooting incident there. The man refused all medical treatment and did not provide any information to officers. The incident now being handled by the Major Crimes Unit. Utica Police asking for help with information. You can contact UPD or submit a 100% anonymous tip online through Mohawk Valley Crime Stoppers. One of the candidates in the race to replace Elise Stefanik is officially out. Republican Assemblyman Robert Smullen is declining to stay in the race and run on the conservative line. He did lose the GOP primary to Sticker Mule CEO Anthony Constantino. Smullen made the decision after a meeting with President Trump. He says he's now energized about keeping the district in Republican hands. Constantino will face Democrat Blake Gendabine in November for the 21st congressional seat. The New York State Fair announcing that organizers will be upgrading security measures there. Among some of the changes, cars will not be allowed to enter the exterior perimeter of the grounds from 8:30 a.m. to 11:30 p.m. Officials say that will improve pedestrian safety. Also, you can no longer park in the interior lots near the infirmary, and new fencing will be installed around the RV lots. This year's fair begins on August 26th and runs through September 7th. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM news time coming up on 8:09. Here's your Weather Center forecast.
There will be some clouds from this morning into the afternoon, and also the potential for a few isolated showers today as the high hits 78. More rain may fall this evening, then cloudy overnight with a low dropping down to 60. A partly to mostly cloudy Tuesday with an occasional shower and a high of 78. Then sunny normal by Wednesday with a high of 87. I'm Jeff Marr at the Weather Channel on WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM. Right now, cloudy and 71 at 8:09. Oh, the controversy. It continues here this morning. Team USA plays tonight at the FIFA World Cup. They're playing in Seattle, the round of 16. It's an 8 o'clock start, televised on Fox. The Stars and Stripes got some great news from FIFA as Balogun has been had his suspension overturned and is now eligible to play, or at least we think at this time. Belgium and the United States had until 8 this morning to submit arguments essentially to FIFA. I thought this decision had been made on Sunday, and during the broadcast there was quite a bit of talk and controversy. Many of the broadcasters did not love this decision, and of course we ended last hour with the statement from the Union of European Football. Their take on it, they say it crosses a red line and calls into question the integrity of the game. We will see what the final decision from FIFA is. We'll get an update on that hopefully before we get off the air this morning. But again, tonight, it's the United States taking on Belgium, the round of 16. The U.S. hopes to make its first quarterfinals appearance at the World Cup since 2002. 2 more nations punched their ticket to the next round last night. Let's see, Norway beat Brazil 2-1 in New Jersey. It's the first time Norway has made the quarters at the World Cup ever. Brazilian legend Neymar converted a late penalty and announced his retirement from the national team after the match in Mexico. England took down Mexico. They only had 10 men for part of the second half, but still held on for a 3-2 victory. Action continues tonight, as I mentioned. We'll jump to baseball quickly. The Mets got a 10-9 win over the Braves in Atlanta. It snaps a 3-game slide.
That game ended up 10-9.
Yeah.
So they almost blew it.
The Mets be positive, Bill. Then the Mets snap a 3-game slide. They wrap up that 4-game series in Atlanta tonight. The Yankees have lost 9 out of 10. They lost the rubber match.
They can't play without Judge.
Can't score.
6-1 they lost to the Twins yesterday. They now head to Tampa Bay.
And by the way, they have like 5 or 6 of their players out right now. But Judge, it seems that when Judge is not in the lineup, they just don't score any runs.
They visit the Tampa Bay Rays for a 4-game series that begins tonight in St. Pete. Mitchell Robinson says, of course, he was with the Knicks. He's now with the Celtics, but he was with the Knicks when they won the championship. Played with the broken bone in his hand. He posted on social media an explanation as to how he broke his hand. He said he learned that his younger brother was involved in a vehicle accident that included potentially severe or life-threatening injuries. As a result, he slammed his hand on his truck, breaking the 5th metacarpal bone in his right hand. That's how the injury was sustained. And the NCAA, the president of the NCAA, is pushing back against prop betting at the collegiate level. He was on CBS Face the Nation yesterday. Charlie Baker, a former governor of Massachusetts, says student athletes likely have people in their circles asking them to rig performances for the sake of making a profit. He called it incredibly demoralizing for student athletes, adding that he believes they're starting to win the discussion and the debate with the public when it comes to pulling prop bets out of college sports.
Okay. Can we talk a little bit about the Smullen issue? So Robert Smullen had said, and actually it was one of the tumultuous parts of our interview with Bob Smullen when he was before the election, the primary election, and that was, we continue to ask, you're going to be on the conservative line, will you stay in the race? I am actively on the conservative line, is what he would continue to say. But when we pressed, at one point he said, I will remain actively on the conservative line in November. And now that has changed. So you had gotten some word that there was your scoop last week, that there was a bit of a negotiation going on, right?
Yes. Well, we had been told that maybe Smullen was saying,
we were told
for
that
a federal job.
He was saying, pay off his loan,
yeah,
and give him a federal job, and he would get out of the race. Okay, so now do the numbers support something like that? Now let's just say, after meeting with President Trump, and they did say they discussed things that he may be able to do going forward, jobs he may be able to do going forward, he came away and said that he is going to get off the conservative line. So now, upon a little digging, and I'm not going to name the person that gave me this because I don't know that they necessarily want that out there, but this is available to anybody. It's the U.S. Federal Election Commission finance report. So, first of all, I want to go with Anthony Constantino, who has a video out, and I'm going to play a little of the video. I don't know if you've seen this as of yet. It's interesting. Constantino for Congress raised over $10,000 or $10 million for his campaign. $10,053,187,000. Or $187, sorry. But basically just over $10 million. All of that money came from Anthony Constantino.
Oh, boy.
He loaned himself $10 million.
Boy.
And he spent it, right? I mean, he spent a lot of money.
Yeah.
He still has a lot of money left over, I believe. He's probably looking at what he still has left. Ending cash on hand is about $3.12 million. So just over $3 million that he has on hand. And he's probably going to need to replenish that. How much of that money was raised through donations? None of it.
None.
It's all money that he put into his account. Now, on the other side, let's go to Robert Smullen. Smullen's if Constantino raised $10 million, what did Smullen raise? 1.3. It was basically
donations, or did he give that money to himself?
Well, he raised about $294,000 in donations, which is small. And almost nothing out of Washington. These were really basically small donations that came from the public, but not a lot. I mean, if you're going to run for Congress, you got to raise some money. Mm-hmm. And unless you're Anthony Constantino and you have this money. So the numbers are he loaned his campaign $1 million. Constantino, $10 million. I understand that. But I would think this was a hard $1 million to loan yourself. So I think that the financials really support the theme that Smullen's angry. He can't be happy that the president endorsed Constantino and probably made a huge difference in that election. He's donated, what does he have on hand? He donated $1 million, basically loaned to his campaign. He wants that money back. I think that would be, now we don't know. We've asked for Robert to come on the air. He does not want to come on the air. But it looks like he met with the president. It looks like whatever his concerns were have been satisfied. Could that be paying back the $1 million loan? And could that be a federal job? Because now he's out. After he vehemently said he would not get out of the race. Now he's out. Your thoughts?
I think it's the right thing to do.
It's all circumstantial evidence what we have here. We don't really know what came out of that meeting with President Trump. However, it seems like it's certainly possible.
Yeah, I think it was the right thing to do. I think anytime, because whatever party you're involved in, you run the risk of splitting the vote. I know sometimes there are third-party candidates who make a run or come close. I think we saw that in an election in Utica, right? The whole Marino race, it was close. But really what you are doing, especially if it's Republican conservative, or let's say it'd be like the working families line and Democrats, you are splitting the vote among your support base.
And then Gendabine being knocked off the ballot, knocked off his independent line. That is a big blow. He may be on the working families. I don't know. And then the question would be, though, is it the right thing to do to hold the loan, payback of the loan, and a federal job ransom for getting off the ballot?
No, I don't think it's fair to say that as a ransom. I don't think that's a fair thing to do.
Basically saying, I'm not getting off unless you do this for me.
But yeah, this is how, unfortunately, Washington works and how the world works. I need something, you need something, let's make a deal.
Here is Mike. I think it's going to be very interesting to see if Smullen gives a full-throated endorsement of Constantino. I would think that'll be a bitter pill for him to swallow. With those donations, Smullen should change his name to Smallin, not Smullen. Okay. Do you want one more? Yeah. This is really, we talked about how Anthony Constantino came out like a bull in a china closet, right? He's fighting with everybody. One of his first interviews on our show, he got into a fight with me, and then we received paperwork in the mail that he was going to sue, and nothing ever really came of that. And then he came back on again, but he was a kinder, more gentle Anthony Constantino. He has just put out a video on Facebook, and he is at is it Orisville Shrine You see that on the throughways. You're coming back maybe from Albany. You'll see it up in the hills. It's a Catholic shrine, and it's with walking paths, and I don't know all that much about it, but I learned a little bit about it from Anthony Constantino. So I have some audio here. Let me see if I can get this to play. This is Constantino as he is out walking the trail and talking to the camera. Let's come on. We can do this. Get rid of that. Come on. Hold on. I'm working like a snail here. And here is audio. This is Anthony Constantino. He's walking along a path at the Orriesville Shrine. Here's what we have.
Is it not going to play?
It might play. It might.
I used to ride my bike down this when I was a kid. I would come here doing bike-a-thons for St. Mary's. It was one of my favorite things to do during the year.
What I'm saying is, if you don't think this is trying to soften the image of Anthony Constantino going into the general election, then you're very naive.
Yeah. Me and my friends would come every year, and we'd ride our bikes like crazy. This was not part of the bike-a-thon. This was a little excursion we would take down this ravine. It was beautiful, but the great thing about the bike-a-thon, we got exercise in, we got to hang out with our friends, we got to have a fun time, and we got to be in a very religious, spiritual environment and reinforce the teachings that we learned in school every day.
See where we're going here? We're going down the Jesus road.
The biggest lesson I learned being in the Catholic Church, I grew up in the Catholic Church, I was actually an altar boy, but the biggest lesson that stuck with me is when Jesus said, let he who hasn't sinned cast the first stone, when everyone was all upset about Mary Magdalene. That stayed with me, and that's why I'm such an unjudgmental person to this day. I don't like judging other people.
He doesn't like to judge other people.
But now later in this, he will explain when he does judge people, how he judges them.
Jesus said, don't judge other people. So I just don't do it. I like all different types of people with all different backgrounds. I give everybody chances in life, and my way of judging people is very simple. I just look and see, can you help me make the world a better place? If you're working with me in my company, I look and I wonder, can you help me make my company a better place, a more positive place for people to work? Can I make more jobs? Not in politics. The question is, can you help me make life better for our citizens? Can you help me get elected so I can do great things for all of us? I just want people to work together to make the world a better place. We've all sinned. We've all made mistakes at time. And rather than judging each other, I think we should work together to make the world a better place. I learned that lesson since I was a very little kid coming to a place like this. It stuck with me, and now I want to share with all of you. I want to get elected and remind people politics is a very judgmental world. We all judge each other in politics like crazy. You can see it in the comments. People are so nasty to each other in the political world. But we should just let it stop. None of us are perfect. Let's all work together to make the world a better place. That's what I want to do, and I hope you will do it with me.
Okay, now he's going to end this, and the camera, which is most likely an iPhone or something, will then move over to the right, and there's a little plaque, and it starts with the title Jesus, and it's a whole parable about Jesus and the teachings of Jesus.
Work together to make each other better people, too.
Well, there it goes.
What do you think?
And at the sound of the blow, I turned around and beheld the tomahawk dripping with blood. I fell to my knees to receive the blow that would unite me to my dear companion. The Iroquois delayed. This is a teaching from the Orriesville Shrine. But in the background, I don't know if you heard Anthony Constantino say, how was that? What do you think? So there you go. That is. So are we looking at a softer, more gentle Anthony Constantino as he goes against the farmer Democrat? What do you think?
That's the typical move, isn't it?
I
mean, in primaries,
now
you
is
played
in
your base.
and he's in your district, by the way, in Rome.
That's right. So you played your base in the primaries,
Yeah.
right? And then you try to become more moderate when you're in the general.
You do.
That's what it seems like.
Usually, don't make it seem so blatant and go straight to Jesus.
True enough.
Okay, I'm just saying.
I know the only thing I'll add is from now on, I don't think we should refer to the district, the people who live in the district that a representative represents as constituents. I think we'll just from now on call them E-Chutter. Each other. You got to look out for each other.
Yeah, there is a interesting.
Which, by the way, on a positive note, I did see, and the cameras happen to be rolling. Although, from my vantage point,
on the other end of a laptop. It did look to be organic. He was talking to a gentleman outside of a parade this weekend.
I saw this too.
And the guy was basically saying his house burned down, or he was being evicted, something like that. The guy's living situation was about to change for the negative. So he kind of padded around for his wallet, pulled out his wallet, took out a $100 bill, gave the guy a $100 bill, and said good luck, and walked away. And then gave the guy like a little bro hug.
Who does that remind you of, though?
Trump.
No, it reminds you. I've never seen Trump give anybody money, but I've seen Ed Hanna do it.
Oh yeah, okay. Right? I've never seen Ed Hanna.
Kind of an old Ed Hanna move. Listen, we would record a commercial for him, and he'd try to pay us money, and we were told, you can't take his money, you can't take his tip. Let us continue to pay you poor wages, and you will starve, but you'll be happy in radios. Damn it! So don't take his money. And no one would take his money, but he would always offer $100 bills.
Bill, I think
everybody.
He saw the light, you know?
You think Constantino has seen the light?
You know, anyone can see the light at any time.
His come to Jesus moment has brought him to Jesus.
I may have just seen the light today.
You might have.
You don't know.
The Falcon Clinic
Dearly each other, we are gathered here today.
The Falcon Clinic in Washington Mills is the area's premier osteopathic medical clinic, and they would like you to know that they are now accepting new patients at 315-507-4751. Call ahead, and they can get you in. If you need a new family doctor, they have you covered. There's a new physician's assistant that is just joining the team. Dr. Cheryl Mattern has joined the team. Dr. Kosminski, Dr. Zielinski, Dr. Shemaleski, all under one roof at the Falcon Clinic in Washington Mills. Call today, 315-507-4751, the Falcon Clinic in Washington Mills.
Hurt in a car? Call William Mattar. 315-444-4444.
Brought to you by Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair. Located in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer, and online at tallmanstire.com.
You know, around here, a good vehicle isn't just transportation, it's family time, weekend adventures, and getting where life takes you. Maybe you're loading up the kids for a day at the Utica Zoo, or you're heading north to Enchanted Forest Water Safari for the weekend, or maybe you're pointing the hood south toward Cooperstown and the National Baseball Hall of Fame. Wherever the road leads, you want to know your vehicle is ready for the trip. And right now at Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, purchase any 4 Bridgestone tires and receive a $150 rebate. It's a great time to upgrade your ride before your next adventure, because when you're headed somewhere important, peace of mind rides along too. Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, driving our community since 1980. Trusted for quality, known for service, and helping get you there safely, mile after mile. Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, Yorkville, Utica, Rome, and Herkimer, or online at tallmanstire.com. We'll keep the wheels turning so you can keep making memories.
The world's biggest soccer tournament has arrived, and you can trade the entire tournament on Kalshi. You can trade every match from the opening stage all the way to the final. France is currently trading at over 16% to win it all, meaning a $100 trade pays out $590 if they win soccer's biggest prize. On Kalshi, you're trading against other people in a live market. No house, no odds makers. For a limited time, download the Kalshi app and use code TURF to get $10 when you trade $10. KALSHI. 18 plus only. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply. Event contract trading involves risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Prices, values, and available markets may differ from those mentioned. For more information, see kalshi.com/regulatory.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
The 4th of July sale is on at upstate New York's largest specialty bedding retailer, Mattress Express. Save up to $1,350 on our huge selection of brands. And remember, we beat any locally advertised price on a brand we carry. Hurry.
Clearing out your home or commercial building, John's Cleanouts and Property Preservation will handle it for you. We handle residential or any size commercial property, before and after estate sale cleanouts, or any junk removal service. John's Cleanouts and Property Preservation is a 5-star rated and background checked business, providing service you can count on, and we're fully insured in the industry. Call John's Cleanouts and Property Preservation today and take the stress out of your mess.
Hurt in a car? Call William Matar. 315-444-4444.
Mohawk Valley Crime Stoppers is a simple, anonymous way to keep our neighborhood safe by reporting crimes anonymously. Cash incentives are available if the tip leads to an arrest. If you see something, say it here. MohawkValleyCrimeStoppers.com or phone in tips at 866-730-TIPS. And registration is now open for the 6th annual Crime Stoppers Golf Outing, Saturday, September 19th at the Shamrock Golf Course in Oriskany. Call Anna for registration forms at 315-269-3924.
There's never been a better time to buy the commercial mower that has your back. Ferris. For a limited time, your Ferris dealer, Clinton Tractor, has the best financing offers of the year. Choose the offer that works best for you, 36 or 60 months. There are even options to skip payments when work is slow. It's never been easier to buy a Ferris. So visit Clinton Tractor today on Meadow Street in Clinton. Ferris. Experience suspension. All loans subject to credit approval.
We are the leader in service, Clinton Tractor.
At Excellus Blue Cross Blue Shield, we are dedicated to helping you understand your benefits and how to use them. It's one of the reasons why, for the 3rd straight year, we have been named #1 in customer satisfaction among Medicare Advantage plans in New York and #1 for ease of doing business by J.D. Power. We were named most trusted, too. We remain committed to giving you high-quality coverage and the best possible Medicare experience. Learn more at medicare.excellusbcbs.com. For J.D. Power 2025 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards.
Cloudy skies, 71 degrees. Good morning. I'm Jeff Manaski. It is 8:32. A man is dead in Memphis, shot by 2 National Guard members. It happened early Sunday morning in the downtown area. Authorities say local police officers were in pursuit of an armed suspect when National Guard soldiers assigned to the Memphis Safe Task Force joined the chase. The 20-year-old man, Tyron Johnson, opened fire with a handgun and was fatally shot in response. President Trump will join leaders of NATO countries for a summit this week in Turkey. The summit kicks off on Tuesday, where European leaders are bracing for a future in which the United States plays a smaller role in security and defense. The funeral for Iranian Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei continues in Tehran. The funeral procession marched from a sea of people from Revolution Square to Azadi Square after the 2-day funeral for Khomeini and the Grand Mosque in Tehran. OPEC Plus nations say they will increase oil production. The group, which includes Saudi Arabia, Russia, Iraq, Kuwait, Kazakhstan, Algeria, and Oman, will ramp up output to 188,000 barrels a day beginning in August. It's the 5th increase announced in 5 months. Oil prices have recently dropped back down to pre-Iran war levels. The FAA is investigating a reported fireworks strike on a Delta Airlines plane while landing at Chicago's Midway Airport on the 4th of July. The airline says the aircraft was hit by a fireworks Saturday night while coming from Atlanta. The plane did land safely without any issues. Wow. And the Texas Stock Exchange opens for business today. The Dallas-based startup is planning a phased rollout to unfold over the rest of this month. Today's trades will be open to TXSE members, including approved broker-dealers, banks, and trading firms to trade test stocks, at least at the onset. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM news time is coming up on 8:35. Here is your Weather Center forecast.
There will be some clouds from this morning into the afternoon and also the potential for a few isolated showers today as the high hits 78. More rain may fall this evening, then cloudy overnight with a low dropping down to 60. A partly to mostly cloudy Tuesday with an occasional shower and a high of 78. Then sunny and warmer by Wednesday with a high of 87. I'm Jeff Marr at the Weather Channel on WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Bill, right now we have cloudy skies, 71 degrees at 8:35.
Manaski has asked, and we have delivered. He needed 2 doctors in here. We got 2 doctors coming in.
Yes.
And then we'll have more later in the week. It's just we're bringing him in for you. He's trying to save a copay.
Yeah, I have a sty, and I don't know if it's visible on YouTube, but I've been using hot packs. I have drops that I've been using, although I mentioned this off the air this morning, and someone said, well, when they had a sty, they went and got the steroid drops. I don't have steroid drops, but this is driving me crazy.
Tea-bags.
I'm going to try tea bags today. I went and bought, actually somebody bought for me. It's almost like the cover, like you'd cover your eyes if you're going to sleep, like a sleep mask that covers your eyes. It's got these little beads in it, and you can throw it in the microwave to warm it up. It serves as a hot pack. This has gone on for like over 3 weeks now. So if we can save me, what's my copay? Would have been what, $90, $80, something like that. I'll return the favor in news.
Is that
updates.
what your copay is?
Well, when I had insurance, it was it was like $90 or something.
Really?
The last one, yeah. Do you have time for a comment here?
Sure.
This is from Doug Singletary. I always goof this up, but he's a committee member.
On the issue of Smullen.
Yes, I heard Bill say he wanted to talk about Smullen. Let's not forget Dan Fusco in the 119th Assembly race, who also withdrew last minute from the conservative line. From what I understand, there was an enormous amount of pressure from the Republican leadership to do so. I was happy to see that both candidates did the right thing and put party before self, hopefully increasing the odds that their fellow Republicans can get elected. If Bill is talking about the possible deal Smullen has made for himself, there are only 2 states that allow primary losers to go on to November, which are New York and Connecticut. All other states have what is called sore loser laws that prohibit, in most cases, the losers from going forward.
The only problem I say with that is, then why have a conservative line?
Correct.
Why have a conservative party?
Why not wait to endorse from those parties until after the primaries?
Right. And it'd be one thing to endorse, but another thing to have a primary. Why even do it? But it is what it is. So I find it. I just find it believable that he was looking for, in order to get out, he was looking for something, and I'm not sure that that's necessarily honorable. I get it.
I agree with you, but again, this is how the world works. I need something. You want something. Let's make a deal.
2 doctors
and before we move on, just one other point. Who brought this up? Fusco spent Constantino spent $10 million of his own money.
Yes,
and Smullen had $1.3 million, which I guess $1 million of it he loaned to himself. This is all for a job that pays $188,000.
Yeah, think about that.
174.
Oh,
yeah.
Excuse me.
I mean, boy.
At that point, what does it matter?
Power is pretty expensive, isn't it?
A lot of these officials are walking out of Washington multi-millionaires somehow.
They're
they're doing it.
And it is, both parties have enriched themselves in Congress. And then you see the money that President Trump has made. I mean, seems to be a good racket to get into. Politics at the federal level.
It's very troubling for us. What is it? Each other. It's very troubling for each other. If politics is about enriching yourselves and not about enriching oneself, not about representing the public and doing the right thing. If this is just a race to see who can raise the most money and make the most inside dirty deals, it's a big problem for each other.
All right. Are you fat?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. And is there a way out?
Yes.
So GLP-1 meds are really big right now. But do you remember something, and this is something you're not hearing talked about as much, but it still does happen, and which is the better choice, the GLP-1 meds or bariatric surgery for weight loss? Which is your better option? We'll speak with 2 surgeons from Rome Health coming up next to WIBX.
At Mohawk Valley Health System, nursing is more than a career. It's a calling.
I just love the family environment. Everyone's so helpful, so encouraging.
Everyone here is amazing.
Whether you're starting your journey or ready to grow, MVHS offers competitive pay, career development, and a place to belong.
Everybody wants you to succeed, and I feel like the patients and families also feel that as well. My team helps me grow here.
Mohawk Valley Health System. Change lives, starting with yours. At Mohawk Valley Health System, we're investing in nurses like never before.
Working at the Wynn Hospital in the OR has given me the opportunity to not only enhance my critical thinking skills, but also my autonomy.
With competitive new rates, career development programs, and a culture built on support.
I love the team that I work with on the 7th floor.
Here at the Wynn Hospital, I'm not just part of a team, I'm part of a family.
You'll grow your nursing career with great pay, a supportive team, and real opportunities.
Here at the Wynn Hospital, I can find my niche and grow.
Change lives, starting with yours.
Did you know your most treasured rugs can look new again? At ABC ChemDry, we specialize in premium area rug cleaning. From treasured family heirlooms to fine rugs from around the world, our trained specialists use a careful 5-step process inspecting, dusting, cleaning, drying, grooming, and protecting, so your rug always gets the expert care it deserves. Don't wait. Call ABC ChemDry today at 315-738-1111 to schedule a drop-off or pickup.
Shh, here she comes! Surprise! They sent a duplicate shipment to your flower shop! Now you have to pay for 1,000 extra carnations! Also, there's a beehive outside your store! And they're super aggressive! There's thousands of them!
Progressive knows small business owners usually don't like surprises because they cost you money. But a good surprise, saving 10% or more on commercial auto insurance when you pay in full.
Also, the egg salad you just ate was expired! Gross!
Surprise yourself. See if you can save in as little as 8 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
You know, around here, a good vehicle isn't just transportation, it's family time, weekend adventures, and getting where life takes you. Maybe you're loading up the kids for a day at the Utica Zoo, or you're heading north to Enchanted Forest Water Safari for the weekend. Or maybe you're pointing the hood south toward Cooperstown and the National Baseball Hall of Fame. Wherever the road leads, you want to know your vehicle is ready for the trip. And right now at Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, purchase any 4 Bridgestone tires and receive a $150 rebate. It's a great time to upgrade your ride before your next adventure, because when you're headed somewhere important, peace of mind rides along too. Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, driving our community since 1980, trusted for quality, known for service, and helping get you there safely, mile after mile. Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, Yorkville, Utica, Rome, and Herkimer, or online at tallmanstire.com. We'll keep the wheels turning so you can keep making memories.
Hey, I want to tell you about Steed Pawnee Mazda. And right now at Steed Pawnee Mazda, you can save on a new Mazda lease or enjoy 0.9% APR financing on a new 2026 Mazda CX-50 with 1.9% on CX-50 hybrids, 0.9% on the new 2026 Mazda CX-70, CX-90, and 0% on PHEV models, plug-in hybrid electric vehicles. And that's 2.9% on the new 2026 Mazda CX-30 and CX-5. See the dealership for details. And as Rick always says, Ricky Z, come in, let's make your deal, where it's always easy to do business. Steed Pawnee Mazda, Commercial Drive in Yorkville. And if you're dealing with pain, some discomfort in your knees, your hips, could be your back, or even your feet, the Good Feet Store is here to help. It's, according to them, all about the way you're walking, about your step. And they work to correct it with inserts in your shoes. A 3-step system, which includes strengtheners, maintainers, and relaxers. And this is arch support, and it will correct the way you walk. It'll correct your step. And if it works the way it's supposed to work, which we've spoken to many who say it's changed their lives, it should eliminate or significantly decrease the pain. Go to the Good Feet Store today. You don't need an appointment. You can walk right in. 4630 Commercial Drive in New Hartford, or call them today at 315-999-3910.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
All right, in studio right now from Rome Health, surgeons, Dr. Leo Amadou and Dr. Siley Kulkarni in studio here. Guys, good morning.
Good morning.
Really tight, as close as you can be on that microphone in order to...
Thank you.
For us to be able to hear you. And good morning.
Good morning.
So before we get into bariatric surgery versus GLP-1s, Jeff Manaski has a question for you.
I have a sty on my eye. Is this a question I can ask about?
You can ask us anything.
Could you surgically remove it?
At this point, I mean, it's going to be like, what is it when they have, it's like a C-section, this thing's getting so big. I've been doing the hot packs on it. I have drops for it. They're non-steroidal, but it's, why can't I think of it?
Antibiotic.
Antibiotic drops, thank you very much. Should I be squeezing this thing? I read online I shouldn't try to squeeze it, but I don't know how to get rid of it now. It just keeps getting bigger. What do you recommend?
I wouldn't squeeze it. Yeah. I would recommend maybe seeing an ophthalmologist.
But what would they do? What would they do? How would they get rid of it?
I mean,
that's what I like.
It's
the only thing they're going to do is probably if they have any other antibiotic eye drops or something. Maybe they know something better. They might give you some steroid eye drops at the end of the day. You might need some of those, but honestly, it's like we've seen so many styes, but a lot of it's just a warm compress, and you just let the eye drops do their thing. They can take a while. They can take like a month to like resolve.
Okay, so hopefully we're coming to an end here. Somebody also said,
well, you kind of want to, I would assume, catch it quickly, right in the beginning. Otherwise, once it gets larger, it'll take a while to.
This is something I've been recommended by a few people. They said, go get a tea bag. You got to get a tea bag, hot tea bag, and use that as your warm compress. Is that a home remedy? Any recommendation on that?
Kind of out of my wheelhouse.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I'll see.
Gotcha.
I have.
I think you have to call my mother for that.
Mrs. Keeler, what should I do?
That sounds like a Chat GPT kind of thing. Like, hey.
Yeah,
could be.
Well, it's an old remedy that used to be like even with babies, you put the tea bags on the eyes, and I don't know, is it why that works, but it seemed to, or did it? That's it. You don't really know if that, or if it just went away on its own. You really don't know.
Yeah, it's just frustrating. And it's to the point now where everywhere I look, I can see it. It's on the edge of my eyelid, so I can see it every time I turn and look and whatever. All right, thank you. Appreciate
we can't see it.
Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah.
No, we can't. Really, people aren't looking. Okay, docs. Good morning, and this is the big thing right now. Where you can take a pill, and I don't know if you've seen the woman dancing around the water fountain and the commercials. She's really happy. Yeah. Word is though that she better be careful doing all those dances and those jumps because you go through some digestive issues when you're on the meds. So which is better, or are I'm assuming there are different applications. Both are still valid and viable. Who wants to go first? Either one of you.
Everyone.
Okay. I'll go first. Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
I think medical and surgical weight loss both have the same goal. You want to help patients lose weight and be healthy.
Yeah.
And we at Rome Health, we have that mindset, and that's why we refer to our program not as a bariatric surgical program, but as a comprehensive weight management program. So I would say each patient requires, just like an individual assessment and coming up with a personalized plan. So when it comes to the decision to either pursue bariatric surgery or medical weight loss, we have to look at all factors.
Yeah.
We have to look at the patient's starting weight. We have to look at your medical history, the medication history, etc. For some patients, depending on their starting point and how much they hope to lose or their goal weight, certain interventions might be more appropriate.
Okay.
There are some patients who are poor surgical candidates, patients who have a lot of heart and lung problems that may not even survive the anesthesia. So a patient like that, it might make sense to start medically and see what happens. Some patients, have a very, very high starting BMI and have comorbidities or medical conditions that respond more to bariatric surgery. For instance, if you have really bad acid reflux. So taking a GLP-1 analog, which slows down the emptying of the stomach, would in fact make those symptoms worse.
Okay.
So those patients might benefit more from a bypass. So you have to look at the whole picture and then come up with an appropriate plan.
Can I just mention we joked about, I don't know if this was on the air or during the break, but like with myself and with Cully here, I think we could both, let's be honest, stand to lose 20 to 30 pounds. It would be best achieved, though, through healthier eating and exercise as opposed to, this is typically, and I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, for somebody who's in the range of 400, 500, 600 pounds when you're going to surgery to remove. Because if you have the unhealthy habits, you're just going to gain that weight back, right?
You're right. Interventions, and those include surgical or medical weight loss, are only they're just one leg of the triangle, the tripod. So lifestyle modification, physical activity, dieting, that's important. But when you get to a certain BMI, it gets difficult.
Right.
Right. So even with the best dietary practices and really, structured, intense exercise, it just gets hard. And that's where we come in.
Yeah.
Dr. Kulkarni, on these GLP-1 meds, we're still very early, and I realize that with the FDA in the United States, it takes forever to get a drug that is approved.
Sure.
But there are some physicians who are very cautious about these drugs because they fear that down the road there could be further complications. What are your thoughts?
Right. I mean, I think
especially if people don't change their habits.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think that's the biggest thing, is that all of these new medications are coming out. We're mass using them, but we just want to make sure, especially from the medical community, that everybody is kind of aware of exactly what is going on when you're using these drugs.
Yeah.
So initially, what a GLP actually is, the hormone is already found in your body. It's called glucagon-like peptide. So what you're doing is you're giving yourself more of that. So basically, it's going to work in two ways. Number one, it's going to signal to your body that you're satisfied. So this is the hormone that kind of signals satiety and stops your cravings. So now you're getting extra hormone like that. You're basically saying that, I'm satisfied. I don't need to keep reaching for that extra snack or that extra food. But the other way is that it also kind of slows the progression of food through your body. So when you eat something, like if a normal person is eating a cheeseburger, it's going to kind of go through your stomach, go through your intestines, pass on through in a pretty timely fashion. A person who's on one of these medications, the cheeseburger is just kind of sitting in your stomach. So it's going to sit there, sit there, sit there, and sit there. So that is kind of how, again, you have this constant feeling of fullness. So, all of these things, like, sure, it works well, but there's definitely some side effects that we always try to highlight. The number one thing is that, yes, you're losing fat, but at the same time, you're also losing muscle mass with it as well. So there's a lot of studies that are coming out that you lose almost 30% of your muscle mass as you're taking these medications. And a lot of these medications, it kind of becomes a lifelong thing. Like some patients come to us exactly like the example that you were saying. Like, can I just lose like 20, 30 pounds? And can I just, I want to take these medications, lose a couple pounds, my wedding's coming up, and then I want to be off of this medication. We get that all the time. So in that sense, it's kind of, once you start taking these medications and you lose the weight, when you stop the medication, like 90% of the time, the weight is going to come back, unless you have aggressively changed your lifestyle, aggressively like started dieting along with it. So that's kind of the things that we've been seeing.
It's probably too early to know right now what the long-term impact will be from taking like a GLP-1 for 30 years, 25 years, something like that. That's something patients need to be aware of as well, right? And we don't have much info on that.
No, I mean, there's not really too many long-term studies like that. For now, we have studies that go out to maybe like 2 years, but a lot of those studies have shown that if you stop taking the medication, that the weight is coming back. That's like the most conclusive result that we've basically seen. But other things, I mean, sometimes we've seen that because they already slow the progression of food down, we've seen that a lot of people, their stomachs kind of stop propelling the food forward. So in the medical community, that's called gastroparesis. So we've seen a lot of patients that have come in, and now just because from being on this medication, the stomach has just kind of stopped pushing food through. So now that everything is just sitting there. And even when they're off the medication, sometimes it can be irreversible. So
it's interesting too, the way you describe that, and I'm glad you did, because you hear talk about people trying to lose weight, and I don't know, these are like buzzwords, like you want to increase your metabolism, increase. But it sounds like with a GLP-1, it almost slows your metabolism, where it's, as you say, not pushing food through.
Right.
And I guess we don't know the long-term impact of that as well.
No, I mean, we definitely right now, we don't really know the long-term impact. And like we said, it's not at Rome, we're not completely against using these GLP medications, exactly like my partner here was saying. There's certain criteria where, sure, we'd advocate for a GLP-1 versus advocating for surgery, or some patients we'd advocate for surgery versus advocating for GLP-1s. But for surgical criteria, like the times usually where we were like, listen, maybe you should consider surgery. Usually for patients who are younger, I tend to advocate more for surgical repair, just because, at the end of the day, if somebody is 30 years old, they're morbidly obese, and they're trying to, they're coming to me, they're like, listen, we've tried a lot of different things aren't working. Should I be on this medication? Then you kind of sit down with that patient and you're like, well, you're going to be on this medication for the next 60 years then.
Right.
Like, is that something that you want to consider versus us maybe doing an anatomical change in your body, but then after that you're just using diet and lifestyle to maintain that. So it really does go like case by case basis.
Can you with the surgery, can you I've heard stories where people just they don't follow their urges. They have a mental issue where they just need to keep eating, and they stretch it back out to the point where it's as if you hadn't had the surgery. That happens?
Specifically with the sleeve gastrectomy, which basically involves a removal of about, I'd say, 2/3 of the stomach. It is possible that when it's healed and you just keep eating, just the usual amount, that you could stretch it out.
Okay.
Yes.
With all of it, there are dangers. But as Mr. Malachi over there, across from you, says, the real danger is you can lose the weight using these meds. You can lose the weight with the surgery, or you can lose 30 pounds after your heart attack.
That's right.
Which you recently experienced.
I did, and it was something that was completely unexpected. I didn't have any of the risk factors that you would think of. Typically, a person having a heart attack or in danger of having a heart attack would have, like high blood pressure. Didn't have that. My cholesterol levels were good. I didn't drink alcohol or smoke. My parents, there was never any history of heart disease in my family. Parents, grandparents lived well into their 80s and 90s, but there I was in March 9th, sitting at St. Joe's, being told that I had a 95% blockage and needed a triple bypass. So I would just say to anybody that's experiencing just even the most moderate of symptoms, like mine was not the typical Sanford and Son and I'm coming Elizabeth type of heart attack. It was shortness of breath basically was what my symptom was. So I would just urge people that are experiencing those types of symptoms to not ignore it. Don't put it off seeing a doctor. Don't be macho about it. If your body's telling you something's not right, listen to yourself and get yourself to a doctor to get looked at, even if it's to rule something out.
And I would just end, we have about a minute, with, it seems that whether it's AI that's assisting or since COVID, we've learned a lot. Medicines are being produced today and created that have fewer side effects. I'm on a medicine that targets white blood cells, the production of white blood cells, and it literally stops the overproduction of white blood cells. I feel like there's something coming for all medicines and all conditions like this. Maybe there's a medicine that targets your urge to overeat. I think some of these things are being worked on.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think with everything, hopefully the goal is to get better. Hopefully the medicines are getting better. Hopefully our surgical techniques get better. We're already doing everything very minimally invasively. So, I mean, even surgery has come a really, really long way. Like there's been a lot of myths in the past, there's like huge recovery time. You're in the hospital for weeks. That's definitely not the case anymore. We use robotic surgery. The incisions are smaller. You're in the hospital for a day. So there's been huge advancements in both fields, I'd say.
The world is changing.
The world is changing. Yeah. Absolutely.
Guys, thank you so much. You can reach out to both of the doctors here at Rome Health. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having us.
All right, we're pretty much out of time. Portions of the program brought to you by New York Sacks, where they're celebrating their America 25 sale, 50% off installation of a new bath, Buy 2 windows, get 1 free, and the list goes on. NewYorkSash.com.
WIBX Utica Road, W295 Utica. From the WB Payne Insurance Studios, your news talk leader since 1925. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now the latest from Fox News.
Will they go with the flow? I'm Chris Foster, Fox News. Team USA hopes to have star striker Flo Balogun playing in their World Cup soccer match against Belgium tonight in Seattle. His suspension for stepping on an opponent's ankle in the last match is lifted after a phone call to FIFA's president from President Trump. Now there's an appeal from Belgium to have it reinstated.
Flo got the red card in the last game. That in football means an automatic 1-match ban. So at that point, he was not able to play tonight. Then they reversed that decision, suspending the suspension in effect and saying, yes, he is free to play tonight. The Belgian team then lodged a protest. They said they were astonished and they were looking at all available options. And now this morning, we